Hank's rock. This is
crazy.
Chaotic
It's
show.
spooky season in the studio right now.
It really is.
There's a ghost.
Hank has a chair, and it doesn't have a wheel. It's missing a wheel. He has the wheel. He refuses to just put the wheel back on, so he's going to spend the entire show half falling over until he just falls into my lap. On today's part of my take, we have Week 5 of the NFL. Crazy, crazy, crazy sports weekend. Crazy NFL Sunday. We'll briefly talk a little college football, although we do that on Wednesday, but it was an insane day in college football. Heavyweight fights, MLB playoffs. There's nothing better than October. It's fucking insane right now. Fastest 2 minutes. Who's back of the week? Football guy of the week. We're brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Coors Light, if you ever feel like you are always on, if you're running around all the time, well, guess what? You need a moment to chill. You do that with a Coors Light. You crack open a nice cold Coors Light, and the mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold and you're ready to chill out. And that way you always know when it's time to chill and maybe take a second. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend with a ice cold, refreshing Coors Light. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's literally made to chill. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Perfect for a moment to unwind. So when you crack open that Coors Light and you say, that feels good. It's life. Slow down for a minute with your Coors Light. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. So when you want to hit that reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light in the new look, delivered straight to your door with Drizly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Coors Light, the greatest beer ever created. Thank you to Coors Light. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Coors Light, the greatest beer ever created. Today is Monday, October 11th, Week 5. Whoop! 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 We start in foggy London town where sa la 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 Hayden. In a touching tribute to Prince Philip, the Falcons brought their own custom hearse across the pond. Torrey Davis was just wigging out as Kyle Pitts-Stain took all the Arm & Hammer.
The cannibal boom?
And couldn't be stopped as he lined up near the Falcons' right guard. Lusitania is not walking through that door as Zach Woodrow Wilson was reluctant to throw bombs over England. The Falcons ground the Jets 27-20. Whoop! Whoop! Whoop!
In Minnesota, where Dan Campbell's young team of child soldiers was no match for Greg Joseph Coney, TJ Hock'em Sock'em Robots gave the Lions a puncher's chance, and DeAndre Swift boats had the lead flip-flopping back and forth, but the Vikings got the W. There's no crying in football unless your name is Man Campbell, as the Lions coach did his best sorority girl TikTok impression in the post-game press conference. The Vikings 19, the Lions 17.
In Charlotte, Darnold continues to run as Samuel looks like L. Jackson out there, and I think the Panthers can go all the way to the Super Bowl, motherfucker. Get these motherfucking snakes off my motherfucking Jets. TJ Braylon Edwards thankfully didn't need to catch the ball to make an impact play as the game turned on a punt block. In a game that felt like the Eagles would have no satisfaction, Jalen Squirts finished all over Matt Rule's smock, leaving Philadelphia very happy and in need of a cigarette. Eagles 21, Panthers 18.
In the battle for Florida, welcome to my house. Brady, take control now. Dolphins can't get a first down. It's gonna be a blowout. Welcome to my house. The Dolphins may need Carol Miles Gaskin to murder this season.
Allegedly. Careful, Boom. You don't want to get in the goblet of suit.
As Brian Flo Exotic should have been more canceled after his second season. The Bucs make animal feed of the Dolphins, 45-17.
In Pittsburgh, where you knew this would be a dogfight as coaches Mike and Vic stepped into the arena and the highly trained Pitts were foaming at the mouth. Cortland, let's give them something to talk about, scored, but it was too little too late as Jamar Chase Bank Claypool was cash.
Damn, Boom, that was smooth, cousin.
The Steelers win a big one as Najee Kamala Harris looked at Hayden and said, "We did it, Joe." Steelers 27, Broncos 19.
In Cincinnati, where the Bengals found themselves in a bell of danger as Joe Burrow suffered a throat contusion in the first half. Mason Bill Crosby was having a terrible day until he got bailed out by Evan Spacey McPherson, who put a bizarre video online of a celebration after a missed kick, and the Bengals come stumbling, rumbling, tumbling, stumbling, bumbling, tumbling, stumbling, down like a house of cards as something in the Claire ended what should have been a great series. Packers 25, Bengals 22.
In Jacksonville, here's to you, James Robinson. Jesus loves you more than Tim Tebow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The graduate Trevor Lawrence and his embattled coach Urban Meyer were trying to finger things out as the Jaguars face another night striking out at the bar. On the other side, Derek Jeter Henry at least has the courtesy to leave a gift basket for the girls he picks up and the defenders he drops. Ryan Farmer's Tannehill has had his arm exposed recently, but the Titans roll as Mike Paul Vrabel passed out game balls in his underwear and bra. Titans 37. Jaguars 19.
In Las Vegas, where the Bears ripped the Michelin tires off John Gruden's car, Nathan Peterman made an appearance, making Raiders fans want to Hunter Renfrow up. Khalil Big Mac had some special sauce for his former team as 2 all-beef Patty O'Donnells, and the Bears played field position to win the game. Hey, I just come at you, and this is crazy, so here's my number, so troll me, Nagy. The Bears go to 3-2 with a 20-9 win.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston down in NOLA, such a fine sight to see. It's the Saints, my word, against the racial slurs that changed their name to the football team. It's a Hail Mary, Jameis looking scary. Taysom seeing stars, Winston seeing clearly.
Saints 33, Washington football team 22.
And we finish in LA, where David and Goku went Super Saiyan.
Boom, how many yards were in this game?
It was over 1,000!
It was over 1,000!
Justin Sherbert was ice cold as he and Mike Sherman Williams painted a masterpiece. Keelan Musk Allen knows you've got to move to Austin Eckler if those California taxes are too high and you want to get good mileage out of your Chargers. Brandon Staley Yelnats dug himself a hole, but he didn't shy away from going for it on 4th down as the Chargers win a shootout. The San Diego Superchargers 47, the Cleveland Browns 42.
Okay, week 5, we're brought to you. Fastest 2 minutes was brought to you by our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage is much like us at Barstool. People first group of people. They're dedicated to the fundamentals of mortgage lending, which results in a fast, convenient, and less stressful home refinancing or financing experience. Rates are at an all-time low. They may never get this low again. Call today for a fast, free rate quote. Our partners will save you a lot of money. Call today, and our friends at Cross Country Mortgage will give you a free home valuation that is free to you just for calling. Just like the all-star athlete, Cross Country Mortgage pushes themselves through the entire lending process. If they get blocks, they figure out ways around to get the ball over the line. So go right now. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinance your current mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Okay, week 5 in the books. We got weather delayed. So we're going to recap all the games, but there is one game that's currently going on right now. It is the Chiefs and the Bills. So we will probably recap it as it goes on live.
Right now, the Bills look like a wagon. They look like they're dominating. Josh Allen playing the lights out.
Awesome. So this is actually good because I would imagine there's a portion of America that when you see an hour-long weather delay and Tony Dungy and Mike Tirico and Mike Florio and Drew Brees have to basically figure out a way to be interesting for an hour and a half.
Are you telling me you didn't like the peanut butter discussion?
I loved the
We
peanut
should
butter
probably
discussion.
settle the peanut butter debate.
Billy just said fuck because that was his Who's Back of the
Oh,
Week.
it was peanut butter and jelly?
Well, you know that Billy's Who's Back of the Week is always what's the last thing that was said before we get in the studio. So peanut butter and jelly was that. I also appreciated Tony Dungy and Mike Tirico going to bat for John Gruden. That was a nice little touch.
That was very cool.
Yes.
And it became one of those things where let's just see if we can hammer in a reference to the college that we went to during the debates. That's the thing. There are two things that announcers absolutely love to do when they're in desperate need of a joke. One is talk about their golf game or the other guy's golf game. Like, wow, that Chargers kicker, that extra point looked like you're shot on 17 out there.
Yep.
There's that one, and then there's, hey, I'm going to hammer in a reference to the school I went to, and then you're going to laugh at it
and then
for
you're
5
gonna
seconds.
you're gonna talk about some type of rivalry with another school, or like, oh yeah, Drew Brees, you went to Purdue, yeah, bet you had a hard time with Michigan, like one of those things. Yeah, so it was we got the weather delayed, but I do think there is a portion of America that is listening to this podcast right now that once they got to the 45-minute hour mark of sitting there, they're like, I actually have to get up tomorrow morning. I'm going to go to sleep, and I'll just figure out what happened the next day. So for those people,
You're watching the game with us.
you're going to get it.
It's like you're hanging out with
it's
the boys.
great. So we'll update as it goes along. Let's get to the other games. Crazy game or weekend of football, sports, everything. We talk about college football on Wednesday, and we'll do that in depth then. I think we have Booger on. We will talk a little bit about it today, but between Saturday, the start of the Texas OU game to right this second, it felt like there was not a second that didn't have football or a boxing match or something insane happening. It was awesome.
It was just sports. It was the weekend of sports.
My eyes are hurting right now. Shout out Felix Grays. I need them.
Well, it's marathon week, so it was marathon week also for those of you that stayed home and sat on a couch and watched TV. This is what we talk about when we talk with Michael Irvin about whether or not it's more difficult to play football or watch football.
Bear Grylls.
This has been an intense week of watching football.
Like when Bear Grylls laughed at us, dude, this actually is it's very, very hard to sit and watch this much football in a given weekend. I love it, but it is very hard.
And
so
baseball playoffs too.
Yeah.
So You're telling me that I only get 24 hours for my eyes to repair themselves from watching Geno Smith play, and then I have to do a complete hard reset for the Red River. I almost said the S word, the Red River S out.
No,
that they
it's
have.
Not. You can't say it. It's the rivalry.
No,
Red River rivalry.
They shut down all the gun problems.
I know it's Red River rivalry.
Yeah, Red River S out. But yeah, starting Sunday, like you said, at noon, and even the hour before that, where you're getting mentally prepped to watch football for 24 hours.
Yes.
It's been a bear out there.
So let's get into it. Josh Allen just threw a bomb. He's so fucking good. I love
best
Josh
quarterback
Allen.
in the league right now.
I love
Who
him
says no?
so much. Well, we can get into that because Justin Herbert's playing insane, and Dak Prescott I still think is going to win the MVP just because of sympathy votes. All right, let's get into it though. Packers-Bengals, the perfect game to start the recaps. Because if you wanted to sum up the madness that happened the last 2+ days, it was this game. So let's just set the stage. So this was when there's when there's a dog barking in the backyard and you're like, oh no, the aliens are coming. This game was oh no, every kicker's going to miss a kick today because there was 12 missed extra points and 12 missed field goals on Sunday. And this game had an insane ending where, just to set the stage, it was 22-22, and there was 2 minutes left in the game, and it went, for the next 8 minutes of game time, it went Crosby miss, 36-yarder, McPherson missed, 57-yarder, Crosby missed, 51-yarder, Crosby missed, 40-yarder, McPherson missed, 49-yarder, and celebrated the miss he had hit it.
That was the toughest part of it.
So there were 5 missed field goals to win the game in the last 8 minutes of actual game time.
There was also a missed extra point by Crosby earlier in the game, which would have won the game retrospectively if you're like, okay, it would have been 23-22. Just terrible day for kickers all around today. It happened all over the league, but you're right, this was the epicenter of it. Everybody else kind of felt the aftershocks,
right,
where it affected a little bit, but this was the bad kicking game. And all I can say is we need to move PATs back to where they used to be.
Ooh,
it's time.
It's time.
It's time to switch it back because kickers were fucked up in the head. We're idiots. We're emotionally fragile. So when you take
you're saying we here?
Yeah, we.
Got
so
it.
When you take when
just
you
wanted to make sure I didn't
when you take something that we are very good at that
yep.
we should make every time, and then you bring it back to make it a 33-yarder, you're going to cause all sorts of mental dominoes to topple over in our head. Plus, and now I'm speaking as a fan, we as a fan, when we're watching games and there's a touchdown scored, that's our time to get up and go take a piss and then come back. We skip the extra points.
Yes.
What the NFL has done to fans is now you have to stick around for the extra points because it might be made, it might be missed. We don't know. And then that shortens our bathroom time. I miss coming back from the bathroom, and occasionally someone will be like, holy shit, they missed the extra point. I'll be like, what? No.
I do think, as weird as it's going to sound, but, what are you guys laughing about?
What's going on?
You guys are giving each other eyes like the entire first 5 minutes of the show. What happened? What happened?
Just a funny tweet from the Barstool Sports Advisors account.
What is? Okay.
It was the halftime delay, and they cut to the Jacksonville, Tennessee highlight, and then Quiggs just cut in the part of
the
Tommy getting
fingered.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, that makes
Sorry,
sense.
that was
no, that's okay. Yeah, I mean it was. We were sitting here like, what's going on? Because it felt like we had like killed Osama bin Laden again. Like it's something like news. You knew news had broken in the room, and you couldn't figure out what was going on.
It was going across the room in a wave right now. I felt like I was on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Wait, no. So what I was going to say was, it sounds crazy to say, but I really truly believe this. Much like sometimes women living together can get synced up, I do think kickers misses sync up, and they just decide there's going to be one weekend a year.
No, it's that time of the month.
They all fucking miss together, and it was like everyone sucked together at the same exact time.
Somebody look at what was going on in astrology this weekend. If there was something in retrograde, Mercury was probably in retrograde.
That's true.
That's what does it.
It
for
always
us.
is.
But yeah, move the extra points back. I promise you, I don't know anybody out there that really cares about extra points.
No. And it fucks up every like point spread was just haywire because every extra point was missed. So other parts of this game, Joe Burrow is like the toughest guy ever. He got Jim Sorgid. He got choked out. His what was it? A throat contusion is what he went to the hospital for after the game. But when he got hit the first time, when he got helicoptered, we were like, holy fuck, like he's out for a long time. Jersey Jerry, blue collar guy, said that was an ACL. We're like, please don't say that.
No.
But it felt like that something bad had happened, and he came back like 2 plays later, threw that bomb to Jamar Chase, and he's just like Joe Burrow right now. The interceptions were bad, especially the one in overtime. It was very, very bad. But I think that like if you're a Bengals fan and you're like Joe Burrow's our franchise quarterback, the fact that he like gets up and keeps fighting, and he's got like that moxie to him that like, okay, the interceptions will at some point figure themselves out and they won't happen as much, and he'll figure it out and he'll be like a true blue franchise quarterback.
But I want him to be smarter with when he gets hit.
Yes.
He's got to, at some point he's got to learn that. He did go to the hospital or to the vet, whatever they're paying for in Cincinnati. I saw the TV cart that they wheeled out earlier this week when the OC was talking, but he got checked out. I think he's okay. I don't know what Bro Football Doc says about neck injuries. Billy, do you know? Throat injuries?
Yeah, they suck.
Throat injuries suck.
Yeah, probably.
No, that's great, Billy. I like that.
Really good.
The,
He didn't
the
mean
best
to do
part
that,
is that
but
Billy did not.
Not even close meant to do that.
But if you're a Bengals fan, you're happy with Joe Burrow right now because what you have is the Bengals. They've proven that they can tie anybody in the league.
Yes,
they can't beat anybody in the league, but they're always in a tie vicinity. That's a marked improvement over where you've been in the past.
This game really deserved a tie. It deserved a tie so badly. It was the most tie game of all time. The fact that it was 22-22, which is a weird score to begin with, 5 missed field goals in that 8-minute stretch. It was insanity. And I just want to say, Mason Crosby, whether you have a job or not tomorrow, think about dyeing your hair.
Yeah, he should know. He should absolutely show up tomorrow looking like Creed.
Your wallet just exploded.
Hey,
this is a chaos to start the show. But the problem is when Mason Crosby, when you miss like that and you then take off your helmet and you are a silver fox, it's just like, wow, he's pretty old. Adam Vinatieri had it going at the end where it's like, oh, it's a reminder that maybe you've lost a little bit. So just maybe do the Creed Bratton and totally dye your hair and just show up.
Be like, what's up, later, skater?
Yeah, like I'm good to go. I'm a young guy. The other note I had, Devonte Adams is so fucking good so he had over 200 yards receiving. Every time that Aaron Rodgers gets more than 3 seconds of like freedom in the pocket, you just assume that it's going to be a bomb down the field to Devonte Adams, usually up the seam. Like it's such a bizarre feeling to like be like, all right, Aaron Rodgers, he has his space and time. This is going to be a completed pass for 40 yards.
Sometimes he gets bored with the opponent in the pocket. It looks like he's like playing with his food before he catches it like a cat. And he's just like taking his time. He's like, okay, now I guess I'll throw the touchdown pass that everybody thought that I was going to throw anyways, but I'm going to do it on my schedule, not yours. And the last one, the play that put them into field goal range at the end
Randall Cobb.
by Cobb, it looked like he was like fading away, looked almost like a throwaway pass.
Yes.
And all I could think was like, for an atheist, he seems to get a lot of help from God.
It's crazy because those passes, that pass that he made, when you watch it happen, you're like, that's a terrible pass. It was off his back foot. It was over the middle of the field. He had some like a little loft on it, but it was perfectly timed. Mm-hmm. There was like 3 defenders around, and it went right to Randall Cobb. It's just insane. So I do not look forward to next weekend. We'll get to that when we talk Bears-Raiders. And then my last note from this game is I'm pretty sure that the Bengals, and this is just totally anecdotal, but whoa, who's Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting
carried off the field
carried
by
off.
Tyreek Hill.
That was like Paul Pierce carried off.
Did he shit himself?
That looked like it. So Bengals fans,
Too much peanut butter.
I think they lead the league in dressing up for just random games. Every time they show the Bengals crowd, Hank's rock. This is
crazy.
Chaotic
It's
show.
spooky season in the studio right now.
It really is.
There's a ghost.
Hank has a chair, and it doesn't have a wheel. It's missing a wheel. He has the wheel. He refuses to just put the wheel back on, so he's going to spend the entire show half falling over until he just falls into my lap.
He's also probably going to fall asleep during the show because he's also on a yawn streak.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake, so I don't drop my phone anymore, I'm deputizing you. Can you tweet basic shit from my account about this game?
Do it.
Thank you, Jake.
Okay. So, that's huge. Yes.
Interception.
Bills pick 6. Jordan Poyer. Shout out Rachel Bush.
Rachel Bush. That's score 1 for her.
That is a huge touchdown for the Bills. Wow.
Jake, I need you to fire off something good right
Bills are a wagon. Bills are an absolute wagon. You just heard that first here, live here. That was an insane tip pass. Bills up 30-13, extra point coming. Probably going to be a miss.
You know what? I'm going to do NBC Nightly News the night of an election right now. Right now, I'm projecting that the Buffalo Bills have won Sunday Night Football.
Yes, my model is showing that there's to 99.9% accuracy that the Bills have won.
You're saying count every vote.
Yes.
You're asking.
No, we've counted most of the votes. There's not a lot. Yeah, there's not a lot left.
There might be some fraud.
Some mail-ins. All right, next game. Yeah, Bengals fans, though. I just love them. They all dress up. Like every time they show the stands, it's crazy. We also, just a little heads up, we're getting the perfect storm Halloween on an NFL Sunday.
I love that.
So the amount of fans that are going to be dressed up,
yeah,
it's going to be awesome. I just hope that the Saints have a home game.
I wish it was in England for that game. That would be nice if we gave them a treat like that. But I saw, so the fans in the stands and the players on the field, especially for the Bengals, dressing up in the new uniforms, look awesome. There's something new. I know they made like one minor tweak to the Bengals uniforms, but the ones they had today, they were neon black. It was it was such a black jersey.
They have great. The Bengals have. We could do this maybe next summer, but ranking helmets. Yeah, their helmet always is
1-1,
and it's top.
I had a question about
Hank's
this.
now on the side of the wheel. He will not put the wheel back on. He's resting it on the side.
Hank, you were definitely the kid in your class that would like lean back in your chair, and your teacher would be like, "Please put your chair legs down on the ground, all 4."
Yes,
and then you just tip over and hit your head.
You'd be like, "I'm fine," and then you would just crash in the middle of class.
I was a big tipper.
Yes,
big
tipper.
But the question I had about this game, coming down to the end, they sent Crosby out there, I think, on 3rd down to kick the field goal.
Crazy.
Which is nuts considering he had missed 18 field goals in a row at that point in the game. But why do coaches do that? I know the reason why they do it, which is if it's a bad snap you can spike it.
Yeah.
And then you can get another shot. I can't remember the last time I saw a bad snap that got spiked and then they go out there and kick another field goal afterwards. It's like, you know how in cartoons we grow up watching, like anvils are always falling on people?
Yeah.
Like if you grow up like taking every precaution that an anvil will fall on your head because you saw on TV one time, I don't think it actually makes sense to snap the ball on 3rd down most of the time that coaches do it. It's just... I don't remember the last time I saw a botch snap.
Well, I think it's a combo. So it's something that everyone has been taught that, so we just all repeat it forever. But also, I just think you just want the game over. Like at that point, you just want to get the game over.
Yep.
Because you also have to run the risk if you're going to run a 3rd down play. Are you going to run? Like if you run, is there going to be a fumble? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you just like, let's just end this game right now. That was crazy though. The Matt LaFleur trotted him out in 3rd down when it's like, try to get some more yards. You have Aaron Rodgers. It's not like you have no one behind the center. All right, so England. Speaking of England, let's go to Jets-Falcons. I have a question just off the top. Why do they play this game at 9:30 in the morning?
I don't know.
Because I was thinking about it, like it's a 5-hour difference from the East Coast.
Time zones is the answer.
But that they could play the game at the regular 1 o'clock window time. It would only be 6 o'clock in England. They always give a bye to the teams that are playing. It makes no sense.
I think maybe you just want to throw the English people a bone and be like, you're going to be on TV by yourself.
Yeah, my guess is they would.
I get it, but it's just like
this.
You know what it is? It's because the games usually suck. It's actually. I don't want to say it's too much football, but it does feel like they're asking a little too much of us when we're like prepping for the football day, and it's like, oh, by the way, there's a 9:30 game that you have to start watching right now.
It's like we're in an abusive relationship with Roger Goodell.
If he puts football on at 3 in the morning, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to set an alarm for 2:45, I'm going to watch it. So they're actually just flexing.
I'm doing my part in the relationship, but I feel like I am being taken advantage of a little bit.
Roger Goodell, essentially, when he puts the game on at 9:30 in the morning, for really no reason, because it's not like they're playing in Dubai. Right, like there's.
Oh, just wait, they will.
Yeah, of course they will. But it's not like it's on the other side of the world. So they're essentially just Roger Goodell. Every time he does that, is saying, "I can get these guys to do whatever I want," and he can.
It might be because they have to do like the whole field switch back. I know that they did the montage where it had like the turf come out. They raised some of the stands. It was like a big production, a sweet montage that they played in a time lapse. But it might be to get it back ready for Tottenham to play on it.
Yep.
Maybe they've got a rigorous practice schedule. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Pulisic was there.
He was at the game. I'm trying to think of a more depressing life than if you live in London and you're also a Jets fan.
Yeah.
It's got to be maybe if you're an Arsenal fan
or
and live in London
at this point.
Yeah,
Jaguars, because there's some Jaguars because they're like eventually they'll move the team.
But it's more fun to dress up as a Jaguar than to dress up as a jet, as an airplane.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. This game though, so two things. Matt Ryan, we buried him probably a little early because he's actually been fantastic the last 3 weeks. So last 3 weeks, 868 yards, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I also think Calvin Ridley didn't make the trip. I think there was another wide receiver that was out. I think they figured out the perfect offense for Matt Ryan, who doesn't maybe have the arm strength anymore. It's just all tight end offense so Kyle Pitts had an insane game, but they had 3 tight ends. The 3 tight ends combined had 16 catches for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just put all tight ends on the field and Cordarrelle Patterson in the backfield, and Matt Ryan is going to flourish.
Well, it's a lot harder to underthrow.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
it's just all underneath stuff.
Kyle Pitts is the one that might be like slightly different from most other tight ends because he is fast as a lot of wide receivers. So he was underthrown, but Matty Ice, to his credit, has become the king of the perfect underthrow in these last 3 weeks. That's the difference. Like he's gotten just enough oomph on his balls to be able to underthrow them by a perfect 5 yards, have them come back to the ball, or get a pass interference penalty, which is the Joe Flacco special.
Right.
But Matty Ice has figured out a way to work with his arm that has definitely lost a little bit of zip. Shout out, by the way, to the announcers for this game who said, we were watching, bless you, Hank, we were watching tape, and I couldn't figure out who this number 8 guy was. He's like, well, that's the best tight end in the draft.
Right.
He was selected
Kyle
higher
Pitts.
than probably any tight end ever that wasn't taken by the Lions, probably.
He was incredible. Right.
Cordarrelle Patterson made maybe the most heads-up play of the day. They called a run for him, which was stopped in the backfield, and he just threw the ball out of bounds.
Dude,
but then he got hit, but they didn't call roughing the passer on him.
I was thinking about it. We need to have an award built basically around Cordarrelle Patterson, where it's like he's not the flashiest, he's not the best, he's not the comeback player. He's just like, this guy's awesome. We can think of a better like actual name for it, but it's pretty much like if you watch, you know this guy is awesome because he's one of those guys that like history will forget, but if you watched, he's a name you'll throw out there in 15 years and everyone at the bar will be like, oh, fuck, I remember him. He was awesome. So we need some kind of an award that we can give out every year that's just like a random guy's name that's like everyone will be like, yeah, man, that guy fucking ruled. How many teams did he play for? 9? Yeah, didn't he play for like, and you just start throwing out teams and it's, I don't know, that they're like memory hole players that you just have forever.
I think just due to the year.
Due to the year.
Due to the year.
Due to the year works.
The Cordarrelle Patterson Memorial Due to the Year Award.
Billy's got a name for it.
Billy.
Did you write something down?
I was just going to ask, can you tell the story of football without Cordarrelle Patterson?
Probably not.
No, I
not this
definitely
year.
can't.
Not this year. All right, let's talk about.
I also love how little patience that British fans have for bad punts.
Yes,
They really know their shit when it comes to
It's
kicking
like you
the ball.
guys. You guys only watch guys kick.
You remember
balls.
when they had the Mexico City game like 10 years ago, and it was Arizona Cardinals playing, and Neil Rackers was kicking off? The fans went absolutely ape shit for touchbacks
Yes.
on kickoffs. It's like that guy kicked the ball a long way.
That's actually
incredible.
that's probably why you base your Mount Rushmore pick.
It was a great
the
touchback call. Yeah.
There's
All right.
also, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for the Lunder.
Oh, not for me. I had the over. So.
Oh.
I mean, I took it. I doubled it when you started saying London.
I was
was so disgusted.
I was gonna take the over,
Yeah.
and Bubba reminded me of the Lunder.
No,
and I was like, well, I
no.
can't.
I
can't
mean,
take the over.
It was just
I
good
had the
vibes
over
the whole game,
and then I had the over, and then you said Lunder, and I was like double because I can't live in a world where this actually
Well,
happens.
I'm glad you won. And
Thank
guess
you.
what? The Lunder's back next week.
Okay, and we'll take the over again.
Dolphins Jack.
All right, so one more thing about the Falcons. Arthur Smith. We asked him, we implored him to grow a beard. I think he has mutton chops.
It's tricky because he's got a facial hair situation where it fades from being brown on the sides to pure gray on
Right.
the bottom.
So
he's gonna look awesome in about 10 years once he gets the Lovie Smith effect.
Yeah.
When it's all gray. But right now it actually almost highlights the fact that he doesn't have a chin.
it looks so when I saw him, I was like, this guy looks like he should just stay in London and become like a roadie for a rock band because it looked like he was straight out of the 70s. A roadie for a rock band gets the best drugs, has the best, knows the best women like in every city. That's what he looked. He moves in, he like pushes an amp every day, and he's like, yeah, I'm the guy. He's the guy that you got to go to if you want to get to the Rolling Stones. That's what the look he was rocking.
the guy that used to be the roadie back
Yeah.
in the day, but he's like a gun for hire right now.
Yes.
You have like a week-long tour through Birmingham. You call this guy up, he'll take care of all your shit
He knows
for you.
every back alley.
But yeah, the facial hair situation is kind of strange because it does give off the impression of having mutton chops.
Yes, it does. So let's talk a little Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson back to being a rookie. Off of his week 4 performance, the Jets' offense was very bad. They were down 17-0 before they had their first down. I also have a next-gen stat for you, Billy, if you would like. When Zach Wilson had more than 4 seconds to throw, he was 1 of 6 for 1 yard.
Very bad.
Very bad. So what's the deal? Does he
Jet
need
lag, jet lag.
Does he need it to be chaos? Is he only thrive in chaos?
When he's off platform.
Right.
Yeah, was he off?
He's off
Did he
tilt.
get deplatformed today?
Yeah.
He when he was deplatformed, he was pretty dangerous. But they slow start. I mean, that's the Jets haven't scored in the first quarter all season, so I didn't really expect them to today, and they got pretty caught. But the
Yeah.
defense was great. and
Well,
Zach Wilson,
I don't think the defense was
they were
great.
decent.
Because
They
Matt
were
Ryan
well, but they
looked
had
very
good breaks. I mean, the roughing the passer penalty in the first. The penalty on the first drive really messed up the whole game.
What do you think
Got
about?
it. That was it. That was
That was
basically
it.
the game.
Yeah.
You could have turned it off
Momentum.
right then.
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, so the defense you think played good enough to win, but they gave up a lot, 27 points.
Yeah, they
Zach-
also like.
Zach
But
Wilson-
the 27 points, like the thing is, the 27 points doesn't describe how well they were playing because their offense got stopped. So
Got
many
it. The
times.
deep numbers.
Got
The-
it.
Look
the
at
deep
the-
numbers will tell you they played better than the score.
The time
I
of
mean,
possession.
Matt Ryan had 350 yards passing. So
Yeah,
the conversion rate. It's
and
complementary
which-
football.
Zach
Also,
Wilson's interception.
half
Conversion
half.
rate.
Metric
Yes.
system to imperial system.
Got it.
It was
Very
a
good.
half.
Got
So
it.
he is trending upwards still.
What about the pound? What about the British pound?
It's not like they're stone.
Yeah.
Okay. That was your Zach Wilson update. All right, next game. Lions-Vikings. Dan Campbell cried, and I loved it. That is as true of a football guy as you can get that he cried about this loss because it was truly heartbreaking for the Lions to lose this game. They get it fortunate if they finally get a bounce going their way. They get the fumble. They go up. Dan Campbell, like all credit in the world, you're 0-4, goes for 2, does the right thing, doesn't play for overtime, and then Kirk Cousins makes a few throws, which Kirk Cousins deserves credit for because there was only like 30 seconds left, and they win with the field goal, which the Vikings. The only way the Vikings can make a significant field goal is if it's against the Lions.
I would say they had a couple things going from one, it's against the Lions, and two, they had already had their big Viking miss earlier
Right.
in the game where the
Right.
kicker missed a 49-yarder short. and so they came out and drilled a 54-yarder. Kirk Cousins tried to fight Mike Zimmer, it looked like, on the sideline.
Well,
out of happiness, they grabbed each other, and I think that Mike Zimmer actually liked the fact that I'll put it this way. Mike Zimmer isn't actually friends with you. He doesn't respect you until you've tried to fight him.
Yeah,
so finally, I think the relationship went to that next level today.
Kirk Cousins grabbed Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer was like, it was like surprise, like, holy shit, what is this guy doing? He has emotion, and then kind of grabbed him back. And it was, if you're a Vikings fan, that was actually a moment you're like, oh, I'm going to buy back into this shit.
Yeah, they tried to break him up, and then Zimmer started laughing afterwards.
Right.
And at that point, I was like, I think they just did the Step Brothers thing. Did we just become best friends because you tried to punch me?
Another interception for the Bills. Patrick Mahomes threw one in the red zone.
Yikes,
Hank,
Patrick.
I don't know what Hank has, but he's not happy about that one. Yikes, Patrick.
Yikes, Patrick. Jake,
Yikes,
what did you fire off a second ago that you were all happy about?
I'm about to fire off Patrick Mahomes' red zone interception things you didn't expect for $400, Alex.
I like that.
That's good.
I like that.
That's really good. Oh, that was actually a great play by Gregory Rousseau.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as Dan Campbell crying after the game, I loved it. It made me want to cry seeing Dan Campbell cry. It's a few times when I think as men we should be allowed to express our emotions and cry. One is if you lose to the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
2, during the national anthem. 3, WrestleMania. 4, when Dan Campbell is also crying.
Yes.
At that point, all systems go. Just let the tears flow, baby.
Throw in when a wrestler dies. That's always a sad day. Mm-hmm. That's really, WrestleMania is not really a cry fest. It's more when a wrestler dies.
Out of beauty.
Yeah, right.
For the spectacle.
But when a wrestler dies, that's usually a very, very sad day. But yeah, it was great. Like, we're gonna get to Urban Meyer, but the fact that Urban Meyer and Dan Campbell both have like 0-5 teams life is not fair, because Dan Campbell cares 10 billion times more than Urban Meyer at this point. Like, Dan Campbell is probably sobbing into his wife's throw pillows right now. Shout out Joey Molinaro.
His wife.
Yes,
his wife. He's at home
with his wife,
with the team,
with his wife and her throw pillows.
Yep.
And crying
all over,
and being like, I can't believe this happened. And I think the Lions are just going to keep fighting. Like, I think they're just going to keep fighting. They're going to keep being in games. They're going to be scrappy. They're not going to win many games. They might win 2 games.
Well, the silver lining is they didn't figure out a new way to lose this game, because they've already lost 19-17 on a field goal before.
Yes. So
progress.
it was I don't know. And then Justin Jefferson is really, really awesome. So whenever someone gets mad at us for saying like Kirk Cousins has no help, well, he has Justin Jefferson.
Pretty
so
good
he has
help.
a lot of help.
And also Everson Griffin.
Yes.
He's going to be doing spin moves until he's 45 and getting sacks.
Yes.
That's one of those timeless ones.
All right, next up, Broncos, Steelers. Steelers 27, Broncos 19. I think the Steelers offense might be back.
I don't know about that.
I think that they're not actually back, but I think they did just enough to reel all Steelers fans back in. Because I said this on Friday. I said this is a line in the sand game. I said I'm taking the Steelers, and this is the Steelers season. If they win this game and they play well, then you can buy yourself another month of being like, maybe because this defense is awesome and maybe Big Ben just like gets good again. But this was the point in the season where they needed to win to have like to basically buy a stay of execution for another month, and they did it today. They showed up, they played well. Big Ben played well. They had deep bombs to Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. Their defense played well. The Broncos are not what we thought they were, but I think the Steelers offense at least gets you to buy back in for another month.
So yeah, I don't think that they're bad, but I don't think Steelers fans right now are like, this is a team that can make the playoffs or do damage in the playoffs.
Not do damage.
You know what? They can sneak into the playoffs.
Correct. That's what today did.
They could sneak into the playoffs.
Right.
And they proved that the Broncos, they can beat a decent team at home. They can beat bad teams on the road. They can't beat a decent team on the road that has an engaged fan base. And the Steelers fans, I think they took it as a challenge.
But you're
they said,
forgetting.
you know what, we're gonna play Renegade, and we're gonna sing, and then TJ Watt is gonna follow our lead and go out there and set the tone.
But you're forgetting one thing, because the Steelers are set up perfectly to basically string their entire fan base along for an entire season, because they will do just enough in these type of games, and they beat the Buffalo Bills week 1. Yep. You can always go back to that data point and be like, that was that team. Like, so they it's got to be maddening for Steelers fans because I know, like, I honestly think all Steelers fans are thinking the exact same thing today. They know deep down that this team's not that good. They know that Big Ben is washed. But they also watched on Sunday where they played a complete game against a Broncos team that has a very good defense, that Teddy Bridgewater is back. So they're saying to themselves, maybe. And that's like, it's poison. It's poison as fans. Well, again, we'll get to it when we talk Bears Raiders. It's poison for fans to be able to like convince yourself that. But I think that that's what this game did for the Steelers and Big Ben. And he was nursing like 17 injuries at one point.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He just kept on like adding things and kept on throwing deep bombs.
Yeah, he kept on getting hurt during the game. Different parts were getting banged up out there. I think he acted like he hit his head against like 4 different helmets. And with Ben, it's funny because you can see that he's also watched football earlier in the week, and whatever the injury was that got the biggest splash, Big Ben in his head, he'll be like, "Oh, I have that too." So he saw Russell Wilson bang his head. What do you know? Like, second drive of the game, Big Ben's like, "Oh yeah, I think I hit my hand on a helmet too."
He's essentially Big Ben is doing like TikTok dances, like repeating the fad just for injuries.
He's copying him. Yeah.
Yeah, he sees the new hottest TikTok dance before it gets on a Burger King ad. Mm-hmm. It's like it stops at the last person, like the suburban mom does it in her kitchen with like her kids behind her. That's Big Ben doing the injuries that he sees like, ooh, I didn't know you could injure that.
Charlie DeRoethlisberger.
Yes, that's it.
You're right. No, he absolutely does that.
Yes.
And one thing I didn't know about Big Ben today, when I was doing a little browsing on his Wikipedia page, you know what his middle name is?
What?
Todd.
Oh, that's perfect.
Ben Todd.
That's why he hates Todd Haley.
It's probably why he hates Todd
himself.
Haley. But can you imagine giving a baby like a middle name Todd for your son?
That's great.
You're just saying like, you know what? I can already tell you I might have fucked up on this one.
Yeah.
Let's not set the bar too high.
Yeah, let's put something on this so that they know they might need to send this back.
He might be the most successful Todd.
Yes.
In the world. I want to give a shout out to Devonte Williams. It should be Devonte Williams Appreciation Day.
Okay.
You know,
last time you did this, you did Joe Mixon.
No, but I haven't done a big deep
just want to remind
background research. I haven't looked up his criminal record. But
PFT was like Joe
Devonte
Mixon.
Williams,
I respect everything about him.
No, I said between the lines with Joe Mixon. But Devonte Williams is a very good running back.
Yes.
And the story out of Denver so far is like the defense and then Teddy
that was
Bridgewater.
very reporter of you, by the way.
The story out of there so far.
The story out of Denver.
Story out of Denver so far. You hear about that defense. You hear about Teddy Bridgewater.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a pass because we had to watch an hour and a half rain delay where Florio probably said the story out of 17 times.
Well, I'm telling you,
he's also in mid game basic tweeter mode.
Yes, that's true. The story out of Denver.
Yeah, story out of Denver.
Is like that was Albert.
Can we agree to respect Javonte Williams though?
Yes.
That's the point of all this.
Let's find out more.
Okay.
And then we will. Yes. Yeah, I agree too. And Najee Harris was awesome on the other side.
So if you're a Steelers fan right now, you can sell yourself on sneaking into the playoffs, especially if you think like this defense is built for cold weather.
Correct.
If you like,
that's what I'm saying.
If you look forward to November and December, you're like, you know what? We're a cold weather team. Pittsburgh is a hard-nosed city. All we're going to do is run the ball and play defense. I mean, jury's still out on you being able to run the ball at more than like 3 yards a clip.
No, this is the best their offensive line played in like 2 years.
You can start to sell yourself on the fact that like this team, you can just say this team is built.
I'm telling you.
If you here's just a life hack in general. If you have a bad quarterback on your team, you can just say we're built for cold weather.
I'm telling you, this Steelers team is so perfectly set up to string every Steelers fan along because it's just everything is set up like it's Big Ben. You're just like, hey, maybe the magic. Well, it's actually very reminiscent of what Giants fans went through a few years ago with Eli when they would win like 2 or 3 games in a row. They'd be like, fuck, like this might be it. Like he might actually find some glory again. Their defense is awesome. Mike Tomlin's a good coach. They have an awesome running back that if they can figure out a way to run the ball, it's all there. And they beat the Bills week 1, and it's obviously not going to actually pan out to anything of like value, but they are going to, if they win one of these games every 3 weeks, they'll be able to get to December being like, you never know. We could play Renegade. Let's fucking do it.
I do think that they'll be in that graphic where they're in the hunt.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, and
I know this because this is my life.
They could possibly make that last seed, but
what I described is my life. Mm-hmm. Like, so I know this very, very well of like selling yourself on a defensive football team and just enough to find a way. All right. Next up, the Broncos. They might not be good.
Is that the story out of Denver?
The story out of Denver is the Broncos might not be good because they might not be good.
I think the Broncos are going to be in the same spot as the Steelers.
But they don't have like the history and the Roethlisberger and like that part of it. So just a reminder, the Broncos beat the Giants week 1, who I think the Giants are better than their record, but they're not good.
They beat the Saints.
They beat the Jaguars. They beat the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 3 wins for the Broncos. Then they played the Ravens and the Steelers and kind of got their ass kicked. Mm-hmm. So that's, you know what? Next week, just a little look ahead. Raiders, Broncos. Can we play Whose Line Is It Anyway real quick? Can we look that up?
Where's the game?
It's in Denver. That will be a true who actually is real. Like who can go forward from this point and we can keep believing in, who can't.
I think 3.5 Denver.
I'm going to say 2.5 Denver. Guess whose line is it anyway? Henry. He's on his seat. He's figuring it out. Oh, Billy's beating him to it.
Not in the sports book.
Oh, okay. It's not there yet. Okay. Well, we'll find it out by the end of the game. We'll you know what? We'll put a
waiting to find out if
pin in it.
John Gruden's going to be coaching the team.
Yeah, that's true. We'll put a pin in it. All right. Billy's looking with his befuddled face. Billy has a face that he does. It's like when the garage door opens and your dog tilts its head.
Can't
when
open.
He's thinking too hard. You can really figure out, like it's turning right now. We'll get that line later. All right. Dolphins, Bucks. The Dolphins are bad. And guess what? The Dolphins are bad, and they still were actually in this game going into the fourth quarter. It was a 1-score game, but then the wheels fully came off. And, yeah, I think the Dolphins are very bad.
I think they were down by like 7 at halftime.
It was 24-17 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so they were down by 7 at halftime, and I think the Dolphins were plus 700 to win the game.
Yeah.
Which tells you all
Everything.
that you need to know about the Dolphins.
Yes.
They're incapable of scoring, which is an issue in the NFL, in today's NFL.
PFT, you tell me about this game. The Chiefs just scored, so I want to tweet about the can't lose parlay winning again, plus 400, no big deal, and stunting on all the haters.
Okay, this game was Tom Brady's going to clown you game. It was the first time in his career that he threw for 5 touchdowns and over 400 yards, I believe. Maybe it's over 450 yards.
It was the first time in his career that 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's thrown 6 touchdowns and 380 yards, and he's thrown 4 touchdowns and 400 yards.
But never
done
it
first time
together.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy because he's played a billion games. He also has 4 5-touchdown games past the age of 40. Which is insane.
Pretty good. It was also one of those games that just reminds you how much bullshit it is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Antonio Brown to add to their lineup. When they have Mike Evans.
Fucker scored twice today.
Yeah, scored twice.
After
Sunday. What he did to
that
us.
Guy.
They got Antonio Brown, who when his mind is right, he's probably a top 5 receiver in the league. And then they also have Mike Evans, who is probably also top 10 receiver, maybe top 5 when he's playing at his best. Mm-hmm. It's bullshit that they got the two of them. They're doing all this without Gronk. So it looks like Tampa Bay is gearing up. They're gearing up for another run. I think they're going to lose a couple more games this season. I think they're going to lose a game to somebody that you don't expect coming, like maybe to the Saints. Maybe I could see them losing to the Panthers.
Well,
if inside the division.
Yeah, I think that it depends on if they get the on or off week for the Saints.
Yeah,
but if they are set up, they'll lose a couple. But the Bucks have a shitload of weapons, and Gronk's hurt. Like that's the craziest part. And I don't even think Brady looks at Chris Godwin anymore. I don't know if he had a good game or not, but he didn't the other night. It's like Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, Antonio Brown. They have 2 running backs. It's just
playoff Lenny.
And Tom Brady runs the entire offense.
So the question is going to be,
Chris Godwin did have 7 catches for 70 yards.
Is their secondary going to be healthy? Are they going to get better?
Right.
And right now, Richard Sherman's playing, who's always going to be one of those guys. Like if you add Richard Sherman to your team in the middle of the season, my brain goes back to the Legion of Boom, and I think this guy's going to have 5 interceptions.
Yep.
And finally, you got a shutdown corner.
Yes.
But he's not. He's really good at doing pass interference so frequently that sometimes the refs don't call it because you can't call it every time.
That's the Seattle way. The
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks basically built an entire offensive under the philosophy they can't call holding and pass interference on every play.
Right. He used to do it close to the line of scrimmage. Now
Yes.
he's doing it further downfield after he already gets beat and just hoping he doesn't get called occasionally for it, which is it's not a bad strategy, honestly. Like, make the refs self-conscious about throwing a flag and be like, well, I flagged him 3 previous plays. I can't keep doing this.
Right.
So once they get their secondary back and once they get healthy on defense, yeah, they're going to be a beast. They're going to be right in the conversation at the end of the year. But I could definitely see them stumbling a couple times in October.
Yes. And now the Dolphins, the only other note I had from this game, Jacoby Brissett, I think, is getting dangerously close. He's trying really hard. He's getting dangerously close to, if he has to play like 5 more games this season, then he might have an expiration on his backup longevity. Because you never, ever, ever, if you're a career backup guy, Chase Daniel is the perfect example, you never want to have to start like 6 or 7 games in a row. Because then people are like, oh, okay, well, we see where the limitations are here. He's trying really hard. And he actually like played well in the first half. He has a hamstring.
It's the Todd Collins effect.
Yeah.
Todd Collins can come in for 4 games
Right.
and get you to the playoffs at the end of the season. He did that for the Redskins. I think he did that for the Bears too, right?
He came in that game when Jay Cutler hurt his knee, yeah.
Yeah, he can come in and look decent, but man, if you give like if Todd Collins actually has to work, like go to practice
Right.
and play football for several weeks in a row, it's going to be an issue for him.
Yes,
he's really
so-
good at playing football for 1 week.
Yeah, that's my Jacoby Brissett. Like maybe this hamstring, Jacoby Brissett, maybe
Milk it a little bit.
maybe yeah, take a page out of Big Ben's book and just be like, it really, really hurts. So and then what's the guy's name? The guy behind him? Reed Sinnett.
Yeah, Sinnett.
Reed
So
Sinnett.
I didn't know who that was. I love when I ask like who's the backup that's going to come into the game, and then somebody tells me a name that I've never heard before, or maybe I heard like 5 years ago and completely forgot existed. Reed Sinnett was going to come in. Do we know
Yes.
anything at all about Reed Sinnett?
Reed Sinnett. What a guy. Reed Sinnett.
I think Reed Sinnett and 4 first-round picks
San
should get you
Diego
Deshaun
Torero.
Watson.
There we go. Shout out to San Diego. Not San Diego State.
Correct.
San Diego.
They upset UConn in the 2008 NCAA tournament.
Okay, I was about to say that's not a football upset,
Yeah.
but sorry, by the way, Bubba, for your squad. They lost the Cum Bowl. Oh, they won the Cum Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't actually I just saw it was 7-7, and that was the last time I had any update from that game.
Everyone called it the
So
Cum
shout
Bowl.
out UMass won the Cum Bowl.
Nobody recognized that they're called UMass, so it was really the Cum-Ass Bowl.
Cum-Ass Bowl. Yes, that's true. All right, Saints, Washington football team, PFT. I'll let you take it away because, oh boy, do you have defensive problems.
Okay, so there's a big cosmic joke that's played on us as football fans, and you can definitely relate to this as a Bears fan because every time your team has a good defense, you do the math where you're like, you know what? If we could average 23 points a game, we would win 13 games. That's how
Correct.
good our defense is.
Correct.
So all we need to do is worry about getting a decent offense, average 23 points a game, and then guess what? We'll be playoff city. We'll be like the toast of the league at that point. Well, here's how reality works, is that every time you get a better offense, your defense gets way, 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 way worse.
They never line up.
They never, ever line up. And so now we've got like a 33-point offense.
Yep.
I think we're averaging like 29, 30, something like that. Before today, I think we're averaging 33.
Yep.
And now we can't stop anyone. So Del Rio keeps flirting with the fact like maybe I should blitz people. He got a little crazy with it, got a little wild with some of his play calls, and rushed 5 guys today. So we're building up to actually dialing up some blitzes and getting to the quarterback. But yeah, it's not great when your team stinks and you lose because your defense is bad, and the worst story of the week isn't even about the game, but it's that the DEA raided your team facility.
Yes.
And
Unrelated,
and
though,
your
to football.
your 2 trainers have been suspended.
Yeah, unrelated to football.
They say it's unrelated.
Yeah, no, I believe them.
I would believe it too, because if you're selling steroids, you're probably selling the worst steroids.
Yes.
I would much prefer to have a team doctor that had access to good steroids.
Well, maybe that's why, because they knew the heat was coming, so they stopped selling the steroids this year. Last year was steroids.
They were all placebo now.
Yes.
Yeah.
The full Jameis Winston experience in this game. It was awesome to watch. So we had So Josh Allen just threw a pick, and
That was
the
an arm
Chiefs
punt. That
are
was a
now
60-yard punt. Same
back
thing.
in this game a
Flag.
little bit, 31-20. All right, so Jameis Winston. He starts the game. Interception. Oh, roughing the passer, so never mind. Jameis Winston. What do you have, Hank? You have Chiefs?
Yeah, Hank found out I took Bills money line, and he
Yeah.
couldn't bet the Chiefs fast
He's
enough.
the Grinch. He's the Grinch.
He broke his thumbs.
Yes.
Opening
He
up the
loves to go
Barstool
against
Sports book
whatever.
and betting.
All right, so Jameis Winston. The first drive, interception to a linebacker. The second drive, 72-yard touchdown punt or pass. The third drive, fumble, a hilarious Jameis fumble.
Yep.
Then the fourth drive, 75-yard touchdown drive, punt, 49-yard Hail Mary. Those were his 7 drives in the first half. So just counting it home, he had 2 touchdown passes, 2 turnovers, and also had a 75-yard touchdown drive. The full Jameis Winston experience in the first half.
And it's tough to game plan for Jameis because he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's an insane man when he plays quarterback. He's a total spaz. So on that Hail Mary, our defense was like, yeah, we expected that he was going to try to throw somewhere between a 10 and a 20-yard out, get into field goal range, end up the half that way. And Jameis said, no, fuck it, everyone go deep.
Yes.
I'm going to airmail it.
Perfect Hail Mary.
Because that's what Jameis does,
Right.
is he airmails balls.
Right.
And, yeah, got an easy touchdown on the Hail Mary out of it. At that point, when you give up a score like that in the last second of the first half, you know you're going to lose the game.
It's so demoralizing.
You're not going to – there's no coming back from that. That game was over at halftime.
I'll throw it out there. This is going to be a deep cut for Bears fans. Tyler Palko. I'll just say that name. That happened against the Bears. Tyler Palko when he's quarterbacking for the Chiefs. It is the worst feeling because you're like, I thought you let down your guard when the team is in the middle of the field with 4 seconds left at the end of the first half.
Yeah, that's another bathroom break
Yes.
that we were all robbed
Yes.
of.
Yes.
And I didn't think it was possible, but we concussed Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
I mean, especially John Bostic being out, you don't see being able to hit a guy like Taysom Hill because he gets stronger the more concussed he gets usually.
Yes.
But he got hit in just the wrong spot.
I really, 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 if Sean Payton has any sense of humor, we get to see the Taysom Hill package run by Trevor Siemian. Because they showed him, Taysom Hill went out, and they showed Trevor Siemian on the sideline, and I think in his head he was like, is Sean Payton going to ask me to fucking just start barreling over linebackers?
I would love that.
You could see it in his eyes. He was like, uh-oh. And I really want Sean Payton to do that because it'd be very, very funny.
I mean, Sean Payton, you know what you have to do, right? If Taysom Hill is going to be out for an extended period of time, you got to sign Tebow.
Yeah, you do.
Tebow was born to be a backup
Tebow could do
Taysom
it.
Hill
Tebow
in
could do it.
every sense of the word.
Yes. I have a question for you, PFT, and I know that when we watch football on Sundays, a lot of things get said in the heat of the game.
Yep.
And I don't think that anyone should be held accountable for things they say between the white lines, between the 1 o'clock kickoff and Sunday Night Football. Like, a lot of shit gets said. Feelings, we'll yell at each other, we'll scream at each other. Bets go wrong, yelling back and forth. But afterwards, we always walk away friends. We're not holding it back. Mm-hmm. But you did say something during the Washington football team New Orleans Saints game that I have to just ask if you want to take it back. You said, I think Taylor Heineke might be the guy.
Mm-hmm. I stand by it.
Okay.
I stand by it. I stand by it. I don't regret that. That was a big preamble for something that I wholeheartedly believe in.
He was 20 for 41, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions today.
Listen,
you were like, I think we have to make him the guy.
You're talking about the micro. I'm talking about the macro. You should listen to your boy A-Rod. Maybe he'll teach you something about how to fully evaluate a season's worth of play out of a player. Taylor Heineke has shown me enough where I think that he's the guy in the sense of we don't need to go out and get a new quarterback. We should roll the dice with Taylor Heineke for the next 2 years.
Okay.
Because he's young, he's cheap. You can build around him a little bit.
Okay.
He's good enough to be an above-average quarterback in the NFL.
It was just
you know how great it would be to have an above-average quarterback?
Yeah.
For me, an above-average quarterback is for a normal franchise like having a Hall of Famer.
Is he above average?
I think you got to take the highs with the low nickies.
Okay. There. Oof. Yikes. What are you going to say, Hank? Hank is living and dying with everything.
Just did a what?
He did.
Oh, there we go, Jake. Love it.
It
was just so interesting game to say that because he did not play well at all today.
And you were like,
I think he might be the guy.
He's good enough. He's good enough Taylor Heineke is good enough to make me happy.
He's not.
I've learned how to settle. I'm very good at figuring out how to settle.
I agree with that.
Have you seen the shirt that has the
No,
list
I know.
of the
The
Washington
Bears have the
football
same-
team's quarterbacks? Not nearly as bad and as lengthy as the Washington football team the last 20 years.
No, actually the Bears are pretty much right up there.
I would put our list up to your list.
It's pretty much like neck and neck.
Can
the Browns.
Billy? How good are you at Photoshop, Billy?
Good on Snapchat.
All right, so what you should
Good
do?
on Snapchat. That's not Photoshop.
Yeah.
You just
But
can
I
go in
do-
and
I
edit.
can
Yeah,
edit
you can.
stuff on Snapchat.
You just go to your Instagram stories and add text.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. Can somebody who's good at Snapchat or who's good at Photoshop make a list of all the football team's quarterbacks since the year 2000, and then all the Bears quarterbacks? We'll put a poll up.
Yeah, no,
Which
no,
would you rather have?
No, it's not like. Well, I mean, I think because Cutler cut out like he played enough years where it cut out like the year to year. But I've never had a good quarterback, so But I'm just saying, I don't think Taylor Heineke's the guy.
I think he's good enough to be our guy.
Okay.
He's our guy. You're right. There's a difference.
Because even in this
There's a difference.
conversation, you went from above average to I think he might be okay.
That to me, that's well above average.
Right.
I think we need to make a distinction between the guy and our guy.
Okay, you said the guy. That's why I was like, I
all
literally made a mental note because I was like, he's not playing well, and he's going to be the guy.
Taylor
That
Heineke.
guy, pal.
Taylor
Do you
Heineke
think
is our guy.
Do you think if Ryan Fitzpatrick comes back, Taylor Heineke stays the starter?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Because with Taylor Heineke, it's like a watered-down version of Fitzpatrick where the highs aren't quite as high, the lows aren't quite as low as you get with Fitzpatrick.
Right.
So he's younger. He could be a future guy.
Listen, I will support you in your support of Taylor Heineke. I just wanted to double check. Like, I knew that it happened in the heat of the moment, so I wanted to come out of like the, fog of war, so to speak, and be like, hey, do you still feel this way? And if you do, I am going to support you in supporting Taylor Heineke as your guy.
Thank you. But here's a stat for you. We're averaging.
I like him.
We're
He's
averaging
fun.
like 30 points a game. If we can just get our defense to play well,
Yes.
and step it up and average. If we only average like 20 points against per game, then guess what? The football team's winning probably like 80% of the games that they play in. So
Yeah, no, I like Taylor Heineke.
I'm doing the reverse to myself that I did last year when I was like, if we just have an offense that could score.
Yeah, no, he is a watered down Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know if Ryan Fitzpatrick has ever been the guy, but he's like, I think Taylor Heineke, if everything else is perfect, he can certainly have fun.
He's a guy that is fun to watch and fun to root for.
Correct.
And that's all I really need.
That's a fair
I'm
thing.
not unrealistic. I'm not expecting Taylor Heineke to win an MVP or even make a Pro Bowl without like four guys dropping out ahead of him. But I do think he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And he's not bad. He's good. He's been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So remember,
Okay.
I think he's the only quarterback that covered in the playoffs last year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's true. I just wanted to double check because there was lust in your voice, and I was like, oh no.
You know what else I like about
I was
him?
like, if BFD was the GM, it would be like $150 million contract.
For the dumbest reasons ever. I absolutely love how he's like a heat-seeking missile for the pylon.
Yep.
He loves nothing more than to just reach out, dive like 5 yards out, and touch the end of the ball to the pylon, knock it over.
And the Falcons game was awesome. Like the way the throws he was making and the craziness, like he is very, very fun to watch. All right, Eagles Panthers. This is the game that Red Zone forgot. We actually said during like the chaos of NFL Sunday, hey, are the Eagles and Panthers playing a game? Because we only saw the safety that was kicked out of bounds, and then the Eagles, who I think lead the league now in touchdowns that get called back. Mm-hmm. Those are like the two big plays we saw in the Red Zone. I don't understand how the Eagles won. I kind of understand it, like going back through it. Sam Darnold, we might have been a little too premature on the Sam Darnold is like it was the Jets. It wasn't Sam Darnold because he was really bad.
Yeah.
And that was a game. If you're winning, so they were winning 15. The Panthers were winning 15-6, middle of third quarter. Sam Darnold has the ball in the middle of the field. He then proceeds. There was a block punt, but 2 interceptions and a block punt, and the lead evaporates. And it's like, oh, yeah, I remember this Sam Darnold, the guy who has pretty much the same amount of interceptions as touchdowns in his entire career. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wasn't what we saw the first few weeks. We all tried to tell us that it was different. I don't know if it's different.
I wish I'd known going into this game that Darius Slade just had a kid. And this was a game off of a newborn.
It's like golfers.
Because, you knew he was going to go out there and have 2 interceptions.
Yes.
That is how the universe works. It was going to reward him for that. So, bad job, everybody not telling me. Please keep me posted if an impact player, especially on defense, has a kid,
Has a child.
within 3 days of
Yes.
Sunday, so that I can
Yes.
make sure to adjust my bet accordingly.
But yeah, Sam Darnold was bad.
Sam Darnold was not good, and both these teams. I had a teacher back in 8th grade one time that told me at the start of the semester that I just give off a C aura. There's like a C aura about me, and she was right. I ended up getting a C. But these two teams, they definitely. I've got a C aura. You guys are going to you're going to get somewhere between 6 and 9 wins.
Yeah.
And maybe, I'm going to say like maybe 5 to 9 wins.
I fell for it because I was like, oh, Sam Darnold, this might be something different. I think he probably is who he is. And that's not, there's some games that he will look great. And there's some games that he will look like this where it's like, oh, he was bad. And that's a game when you're up 15-6 in the middle of the field halfway through the third quarter at home, you should win that game. And they didn't. And the Eagles, I don't really even understand what the Eagles are at this point. Two teams that I don't really get what they are. So it was kind of fitting that they played a weird game that you're like, wait, what happened? Oh shit, the Eagles are winning. The Eagles won that game?
Yeah, you can tell also when a coach doesn't totally trust his quarterback, and that's what Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are involved in right now. Like a parent-son relationship where it's like you're still checking under the mattress. You're asking who's going to be at the party.
Yep.
You're looking through their phone when they're out of the room. You don't get the feeling that Nick Sirianni is like he hasn't given the keys to Jalen Hurts yet.
Yes.
He's still like very much on a learner's permit.
You know what Jalen Hurts is for the Eagles? He's not Mr. Right. He's Mr. Right now.
Yep.
That's exactly what he is. So, like, Eagles fans will be like, yeah, well, there's some times where he does things. Like, he had a couple touchdown runs and, a couple passes. But deep down, it's just like, he's who you have right now, and you're going to throw your support behind him, and that's it.
He's a rebound.
Yeah.
He's a rebound from Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, from that
right,
era.
because
they're doing a reset on it.
Because he, like, cares a lot.
Yeah.
And that, like, I don't know, he does not strike me as an ego guy. He actually is the opposite if you've read anything about him at Alabama and Oklahoma, which is a nice, like, refreshing cleanse from Carson Wentz era.
You're saying he's kind of a simp, though. I'm reading between. He's like almost too nice of a guy.
No, I just think Carson Wentz is, like, a disaster in the locker room.
That's true.
This is based off of, I don't know, a couple athletic, articles that I read.
No, and
that's pretty much it.
And also at
Howie Roseman probably wrote them.
What Nick Saban has said about like the best backup quarterback I've ever had.
Yes.
So Jalen Hurts he'd be an awesome backup to have.
Yes.
Probably like the best backup in the league. You want him as your backup. On the other side, Sam Darnold would be a shitty backup.
Correct.
Because Sam Darnold, he would rather throw an interception than take a sack.
Yes.
And all you want out of your backup quarterback is like be a team guy, and then don't be afraid to just stand there like an idiot and get sacked occasionally.
Well, it's just it's telling on. As sports fans, we always want to kind of see the best in guys. And Sam Darnold, his entire career at USC was like he was good and great at moments, but he also was always turnover prone.
Yep.
He went to the Jets, turnover prone. He has 2 good games with the Panthers, and we're like, he's fixed. No, he's probably turnover prone.
We fixed him.
Yeah.
You'll never fix a guy.
No,
he's
turnover prone. Like
Yep.
he throws interceptions. All right, let's go. Let's do a quick ad, and then we will get to Titans Jaguars. PFT, you got a word from our friends at Simply Safe?
Yeah, I love Simply Safe. Right now, by the way, it's Buffalo 38, Kansas City 20.
It's 12:20 in the morning.
Yep. So Simply Safe, you guys know that we love Simply Safe. Why do we love it? Why is it especially important right now? Well, it's because if you're anything like us, you've had a package stolen from outside your house.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst. It is such a downer when you've been expecting something in the mail for a long time, finally gets there, and somebody takes off with it before you even get a chance to bring it inside your house. So if you're like us, I think 43% of people in America have had a package stolen by porch pirates in 2020. So Simply Safe has a brand new special deal going on right now. They're a favorite home security company, and they're trying to do something about it. They just launched a new wireless outdoor security camera. Simply Safe, the system that U.S. News and World Report names Best Home Security System of 2021, got even better. It's a brand new outdoor security camera that's engineered with all the advanced tech and security features that you want and need to help keep you and your family safe. It's got an ultra-wide 140-degree field of view. You can keep watch on your entire yard. It has a 1080p HD resolution with an 8x zoom. That means you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates to capture critical evidence. The camera has it all. It integrates with your Simply Safe home security system, extending its protection to the outside. Together, it means every door, window, and room are protected. Now your property will be too. To learn more about the exciting new Simply Safe wireless outdoor security camera, go to simplysafe.com/PMT, simplysafe.com/PMT, and Simply Safe is offering 20% off your entire new system and your first month of monitoring service for free. All you got to do is enroll at interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/PMT.
I'm just gonna say right now, Hank is having his most emotional, pardon my take, ever. While you're doing that ad, he took a selfie giving the finger.
Hank, that's
Like
inappropriate.
emo teen.
Hank, what did the people at Simply Safe say about that?
What were you doing? Who were you giving a finger to?
Billy.
Oh, why?
Billy's chirping me across the table.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
What is he saying?
I thought the roughing the passer penalty was kind of warranted.
Oh.
Billy
Because he's talking about the Bills.
softball.
He picked Josh Allen up and drove him into the ground.
Yeah.
I can see where the flag
Billy
was
puss
thrown.
ball.
No, it's Lib of the Year. At it
Libby.
again.
All right, let's
Why
talk.
don't you give these guys flags, Billy?
What did you have the Chiefs at anyway? They were never gonna.
I might have doubled down like 3 or 4.
Oh,
Double
got
dip.
it. Okay.
He double
Pretty much every
Responsibly,
time the
if you have
Bills
a
scored.
gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yes.
All right. Titans Jaguars. Urban Meyer. So, they scored. So the game started. The Jaguars gave up a scoop and score. They then marched down the field and scored, and you could see it on Urban Meyer's face. He's like, I think they accepted my apology. This team has not quit on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got their ass kicked. And I don't know what's going on. I think Urban Meyer is probably going to be done soon. Did you see the challenge flag that it took him 3 minutes real time to figure out if he wanted to throw a challenge flag or not? He also, the post-game press conference. Did you see any of this?
I saw one thing that he said.
So he and Trevor Lawrence could not be on different. They're completely separate. They're a couple now that is sleeping in different rooms. They don't talk. They just pass in the middle of the night. The quote that came out of the press conference, there was 2 things to note. Urban Meyer said, we're desperate for a win. We're desperate for the way they go to work each day, each week. We're desperate for a win. Then Trevor Lawrence, when asked about the team, you can't get desperate. You've just got to keep going to work. We're going to win some games. What's going on here? Then, so that was weird.
I think Urban Meyer is saying, I'm personally desperate.
Yes.
My entire life sucks right now. I'd be willing to do anything to have it be
one win.
Marginally better than it
Yes.
is. And Trevor Lawrence is like, you know what? It's a process.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence actually has a great attitude about it.
And he played well. He played better.
The fact that Trevor Lawrence has not burned this relationship to the ground yet
Right.
actually tells me a lot about Trevor Lawrence. I think I'm willing to temporarily take the bust label off of him.
Yes.
Because you know what? He's handled going 0-5 like a winner.
And a coach that threw him under the bus.
Yep.
And a coach that is an egomaniac and has lost control of his team 5 weeks into the season. They also had.
I hope it just gets worse. By the way.
Oh, yeah.
For the record,
Oh, yeah.
I want I want Urban Meyer to get caught in a brothel. I want him.
I want him to just
have a mattress filled with cocaine in his house.
And then, much like Bobby Petrino, do a press conference from the basement in USC, being like, "I've always wanted to be a Trojan
with a neck brace on."
Yeah, I've always wanted to be here. This is my dream job.
Yep.
There was also this. So the Titans were up 30. So they pretty much controlled the whole game. But there was a moment that the Jaguars almost got back in. It was 31-19. The Jaguars had 4th and goal from the 1. James Robinson is ripping off the Titans defense is not good. James Robinson is ripping off 8 yards of carry. They take out James Robinson. They put in Carlos Hyde. They run Carlos Hyde. They don't run a QB sneak. It's 4th and inches. From the goal line. They don't run They run Carlos Hyde. They don't run a QB sneak. They don't run James Robinson. Asked afterwards, Urban Meyer said that Trevor Lawrence is not comfortable running QB sneaks because he's never done it in a game. Trevor Lawrence is like, I'm comfortable with it. Yeah, I've never done it, but we've practiced it. I'm good to go. Mm-hmm. This is just this is now after a Jaguars game, the first thing I do is just go watch the press conference. It's so much fun.
I actually think that Urban Meyer is addicted to lying.
Yeah.
I think he loves to lie. I think even when he doesn't have a reason to be lying about something, he opens his mouth and the first words that come out are not the truth.
Yes.
That's just how he operates. His reality is different from what you and I see. And so he can't help himself at all. And when you have a bunch of guys around you that hear what you say to them every day in the locker room, and then you say something else to the media, turns out that they can listen to what the reporters are actually typing up after the post-game press conference and be like, dude, you don't have to lie to us about everything. What the hell is the matter with you?
And so it's bad if it's a lie. It's almost way worse if it's the truth. If you're basically saying we're in week 5 and I haven't done a good enough job to get my quarterback to a point where he's comfortable doing a QB sneak. Think about that statement. That's what Urban Meyer said. He's like, he's not comfortable yet. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
So they also asked him about Hyde coming into the game and Robinson, who, by the way, we should respect Robinson.
Roll birds.
Unless
Roll birds.
Unless,
no.
Unless
Illinois
Robinson
State,
has hit a pregnant woman.
Nope.
But, yeah, we should respect more. He came out of the game. Carlos Hyde goes in. They asked him about that, and he said, I don't micromanage who is in the game. Urban Meyer would like everyone to know that he is definitely not a hands-on coach, despite recent video evidence to the contrary. He's a head coach. You should maybe think about micromanaging the game. Just a little bit.
Unbelievable.
Maybe just on the goal line. Maybe just take over play calling inside the 1 yard line.
Yes, that's fair. So, I mean, it's a complete dumpster fire. Again, like we said when we talk about the lines, it's not fair that Urban Meyer and Dan Campbell are both 0-5 because Dan Campbell cares so much more, and his players love him so much more. I do think the Jaguars are going to probably get their first win next week in London against the Dolphins because, like I said, Trevor Lawrence is actually, like, when you watch, his receivers are never open, and he's making rookie mistakes, but he's also making throws. You're like, yeah, that's going to be a really, really good quarterback. So it's starting to come along for him, but man, Urban Meyer. And then on the other side of the ball, like the Titans, they still are banged up at receiver. Derrick Henry just fucking punished them.
It's like playing Alabama every week.
Yeah, it's like playing Alabama every week. 130 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's having a ridiculous season already. And
he's, you know what he's on pace for? I did some math.
Okay.
I crunched the numbers a little bit.
Let's hear it.
He's on pace for over 2,100 yards.
Love it.
Which sounds really great and impressive, but we also have to think, like, 2,000 yards isn't the same as it was in the past.
Yes.
So Derrick Henry 2K is not – I don't think that's what we should be really, like, aiming for Derrick Henry. I feel like – what do you think is the new 2K? Because my number was 2,200.
But then you have to also account for the fact that it's a different NFL and runners don't get that many carries.
But I was thinking you get the extra 100 yards, which brings you to 2,100, and then through the accumulation of all the change over the course of the year, like if you have a 130 game and then a 170 game, boom, that's another 100 right there, easily.
But I feel like 2,000 still is just significant. When was the last time there was a 2,000?
Derrick Henry.
Oh, Derrick Henry, right.
Yeah.
Right. And then before that, it was a long time, right?
Good question.
Was it
It might CJ2K.
Chris Johnson, Jamal Lewis had one, I remember. But yeah, maybe 2,100. Do you want to do 21?
Yeah, we'll split the difference. 2,100.
2,100. But that's fair.
But again, you do have to ask: are they feeding Tractor Cito too early?
AP 2012, his MVP year. Yes.
Yeah, but are you feeding Derrick Henry too much too soon? Because it's not Tractor Cito season yet.
Right. I agree.
Leave some in the tank.
Yes. Okay. I can't wait to I seriously, like, if you're not watching every Urban Meyer press conference and reading every beat reporter's report from Jacksonville, you're not enjoying this experience the way you should be. Because it is truly, like, I went on a fucking Jaguars blog tonight.
You got a basket
in the heat
of that dumpster fire.
Do you know how low that is? I went on a Jaguars blog because I just wanted to see what the vibe was. And it was bad. And it was awesome.
So they've lost 20 games in a row now. Which sounds so bad. Many. It sounds bad to say it out loud. But the silver lining is I think you're closer to the end of the Urban Meyer era than you were to the start of it.
Yes.
So you've got that to look forward to. They might even fire him after a win in London, which would be great.
Yeah, not let him get on the plane.
Well, he's probably not. He's probably got some events that he's going to be attending.
That's true. Yeah, it is the bye week.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's got for sure a few
Urban
things.
Meyer, so many times in a game, he just puts his hands on his knees and stares straight down.
The migraines.
And I think what he's actually hoping that he just dies where he is.
In place.
He's just like, if I focus
Lord,
hard.
take me.
Yeah, if I focus hard enough on dying, maybe I just won't open my eyes. He's the guy from I Think You Should Leave where he's like, I just don't want to be here anymore.
Yes, in the suit. That's probably why he brought back Tebow, because he's like, if I'm going to die on the sideline, I want one of God's, custodians right by me.
Wrong. That's why he cut Tebow, because he knew that if he dies, Tim Tebow will come over and save my life.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, good point. All right, let's see if we can get Hank's attention after all this bad loss and everything with the Chiefs. It's been a wild roller coaster for you of this show.
It has been. I'm sorry for the distraction.
That's okay.
I really am.
That's okay. I think it adds to the experience. I think it's very fun. We're very authentic here.
It's kept you from yawning, at least, so that's nice.
No, I actually enjoy it. I always think it's very funny when we're just ourselves.
I'm loopy. Yeah, I'm in a loopy mood.
Yeah, you are. Hank had to take a nap during the NFL Sunday, and he came back, and he was like, he just refused to believe the updates that were happening from the Giants game. We were like, yes, Saquon got hurt 6 plays in, Daniel Jones got concussed, and he was like, there's Daniel Jones right now. It's like, that's Mike Glennon. It was actually almost like someone having a severe accident. We had to teach him how to speak again. We're like, that's Mike Glennon, and that's not Saquon Barkley. Like, the world has changed since you took a nap.
He was great at the piano when he woke up, though.
Yeah,
so that was nice.
Yeah, he was speaking Spanish. All right, Patriots-Texans. Let's talk about it, Hank. You were very, very close to having to admit that the Patriots might not be good.
Yeah.
Very close.
Very, very.
22-9, and the Texans decided to do one of the dumbest fake punts that was a real punt, that their punter took a short snap and then kicked it off the back of the helmet of their offensive lineman. That was the game changer.
It was awesome.
It was ridiculous.
It was a pure David Culley move because he saw the double punt that happened on Thursday. He's like, how can I one-up this? So this week's David Culley Memorial Award for Excellence in Punting goes once again to David Culley.
Yeah, David Culley is the guy or girl in a toxic relationship. As soon as things start going well, he's like, I need to fuck this up. I can't have this be good. I can't have us be happy and just like chill on the couch and watch Netflix. I have to go fuck some strange and hope that messes everything up.
By the way, I swear to God that all of Part of My Take is not in supremely toxic relationships. I know that we're doing a lot of talking about that.
No, I learned that from rom-coms.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually watched Ricky Bobby the other night.
You ever seen a Matthew McConaughey movie?
Yeah,
like,
Ricky
come on,
Bobby.
this is basic stuff.
The
guys.
dad and Ricky Bobby when they were at the Applebee's, and he's like, I can't do this, and gets kicked out.
Things are going too good.
Yeah, David Culley's like, things are going too well. We're about to beat the Patriots. I'm gonna punt. I'm gonna have my punter punt one off the back of the center's head.
I also loved his giant white collar that he was wearing. It was the Jason Kidd casual look that he had, like fully zipped up to like his throat. T-shirt windbreaker that he was wearing today. So David Culley when he was down 9-22, and after that happened, it actually felt like it was, or he was up 22-9, and he pulled off that fake punt.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, well, this game's over. The Patriots are going to win.
Yes, it changed everything. So Hank, thoughts?
First of all, you guys, obviously the Packers and Bengals, everyone talks about that being the game of kickers and missed kicks and stuff. There's 3 missed extra points in this in like the first 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
That was crazy. Bills beat the Texans 40-0. Patriots barely beat the Texans, so I think that says everything you need to know. Mac Jones, probably the greatest 6-yard thrower in the history of NFL football. It's my favorite. It's fun to go into the things where it's like when they had Brady, there's going to be dynamic offenses and all these different things drawn up and this and that. Patriots now, it's basically the 6-yard play over and 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 over again. But they're 3-2. They could be 4-1.
They're not 3-2.
They're
2-3.
2-3. Yeah. They could be 4-1.
It's Mac Jones stepping up in the pocket, which he does nicely, and then rifling the ball into some tight end's stomach 6 yards down the field, in the middle of the field.
That's been every game.
Every play.
It's kind of fun to watch Belichick learn how to win ugly, though.
Yeah.
To know that he's going to be limited going into any game, given who his quarterback is, and still trying to figure out a way to work it out.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing the right thing with Mac Jones. He's like, so what Belichick's doing is what I think a lot more coaches should do with rookie quarterbacks, which is absolutely keep the handcuffs on them.
Yeah.
For as long as possible.
Yeah.
Don't give them the keys yet. Like make them develop a little bit. Don't get them gun shy. Don't let them learn any bad habits. Just be like, you know what? We're probably going to lose half the games that we play, but I'm looking long term, not short term on this. So yeah, Mac Jones, go out and here's your new best friend. He's your tight end.
Right.
You guys live in a room together and don't let each other out of your sight.
Pick a few spots every now and then where it's like, all right, yeah, throw it deep and try to make something happen. So the big news out of this game, though, is Mills Mafia might be back.
First half.
Mills Mafia might be back. So I have a stat for you. Bill Belichick. He's been coaching for a pretty long time, hasn't he?
No.
I don't know, like 50 years or whatever. But as a head coach, I don't know how many years
He
total.
lost to the Dolphins, though.
Yeah, 25 years maybe as a head coach. Bill Belichick has only let 2 rookie quarterbacks throw 3 touchdowns against his team. One was today, Davis Mills. The other, Russell Wilson.
Wow.
Ever heard of him? So if you want to play that game, Davis Mills is going to win a Super Bowl and be one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He's a starting quarterback. He's not a relief quarterback. He's not a closer. But if you could do a lot worse than Davis Mills today if you go out there and be like, just do some damage in the first half.
I'm just happy that Mills Mafia is back because it's fun. And his neck is so long, and I hope that he stays as a quarterback for a while so we can keep making fun of his neck.
He got sacked by his neck today.
Yes. Yes.
target.
Especially as Mike Glennon probably, that's not going to work out.
Are we going to get a matchup between Mills Mafia and Mike Glennon?
Oh, that would be incredible. I don't think they play each other.
You should be able to flex that.
That would
If
be.
you have two necks like
the
that.
long neck bull.
You ever seen those videos where the giraffes are
Yeah,
fighting each
necking.
other and
Yeah.
just like swinging their heads?
Yes.
That's what the Monday Night Football graphic would be like with the helmets crashing
That would
into
be
each
great.
other.
Pardon the line interruption. Cowboys, Patriots next week.
Ooh.
Oh,
Where is
in
it?
Dallas?
I think it's in the Patriots. At the
in the
Patriots.
In the Patriots?
It's the bottom team home.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
So
going to
it's-
say
so it's in them.
Dallas minus 7.5.
I'm going to say, no, Dallas minus 6.5.
Dallas minus 3.5.
Oh, no.
I smell a
You
rat.
have to take the Patriots. That makes no sense.
I smell a rat. That's what it means.
And we know more than Vegas. Can you give us that Broncos line? No, still not up. Okay. All right. Next up. Oh yeah, Matthew Judon is really, really good.
And for a while, this game was 22-22 at the exact same time that the Packers and the Bengals was 22-22.
Yes, it was fantastic. All right, Bears Raiders. The Bears might be back. I'm just gonna say it right now. I know that I only have a week to say this because they have to play the Packers on Sunday, and the Packers are gonna probably shit down my throat. But I have also told myself I think the Bears might beat the Packers because it's at Soldier Field. But the Bears might be back. That was fun. I'm not even going to complain about Matt Nagy today. I'm not going to complain and say
That's a lie.
it's crazy.
Because I'm going to get you going.
No, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to complain about him. Say that challenge was the worst challenge ever. I'm not going to say that it's funny that the offense was a little more conservative this week, and then he was like, "Yeah, Bill Lazor's got him going," and like now is giving credit to Bill Lazor. I'm not going to say that Andy Dalton, who he loves, when he had to come in for Justin Fields because Justin Fields hurt his knee. Andy Dalton wasn't prepared to come in. He needed to have his rib protector. So I'm not going to say any of that. I'm just going to enjoy Club Dub.
That might be on Andy.
Yeah, that could be on Andy. But also, Andy and Matt Nagy, I think, are in a relationship together. Like, they're that close. I'm just going to say the Bears are 3-2. That was a road victory. The defense looked awesome without Akeem Hicks. I'm happy. I'm not going to say that they're like some incredible team because they're not. They're not a playoff team. But I'm happy, and I think that they could maybe beat the Packers.
Let me ask you a question, though, about your rookie quarterback, Justin Fields.
Yes.
How? First of all,
scared
scale
me.
of 1 to 10, how are you feeling?
So, all right. So, Justin Fields, it's hard to fully judge because they're really, like, it feels like no one's ever open. But he did make those 2 throws at the end of the fourth quarter when the Raiders scored to make it a 5-point game. Justin Fields had 2 third down conversions that were like big time throws, high pressure throws. Obviously, it's like he had 100 yards passing, so I'm not going to be like, holy shit, he's the next Patrick Mahomes. We're taking baby steps, winning on the road, 2-0 as a starter in games that Matt Nagy isn't purposely trying to get him murdered. So I'm okay with it.
I'm going to put you down as a 4 then.
No, I'm actually going to go a 6. Here's why. This is the best. This is the kicker. You know how, like, whenever a Hall of Fame quarterback, they'll, like, you know, let's say they're in the year 15 and they're on a Monday Night Football game and they're like, this guy just threw his 300th touchdown pass. And can you believe who he threw his first touchdown pass to? And it's always the most random name, right? Justin Fields threw his first touchdown pass in the NFL today. He threw it to Jesper Horsted.
Okay. That's a
From
good one.
Princeton.
All right.
That is a first touchdown pass Hall of Fame career guy where Justin Fields will be in the NFL for the next 15 years. He's probably going to win multiple Super Bowls. And they're going to be like, trivia question. Who did he throw his first touchdown pass to? Jesper Horsted.
So I like that. I like it a little bit better if it's like a veteran at the end of their career that's played
that
on a
could
bunch of
work
teams.
too.
If it was Jerry Rice on the Seahawks,
Yeah,
that
but
would
Jesper
be a really
Horsted?
nice one.
That's
Jesper
a-
Horsted
that's
is
a
good.
random-
The Ivy League thing really
Yeah.
puts it over the top.
Yes.
That's the icing on the cake.
Yes.
But yeah, Justin Fields, like, it seems to me that they're still running the Andy Dalton offense for Justin Fields.
Well-
and when he's running, it's because he's actually afraid of getting sacked, and not because it's a designed run.
He got lit up a few times today. I'm going to give the Bears coaching staff some credit, which is a crazy thing to say. They actually had a great game plan because they knew that the Raiders couldn't stop the run, so they just ran the ball down their throat. Now, there was times in the game where it felt like the Bears were playing not to lose, not playing to win, whereas like, hey, maybe take a couple shots here because we're just running it and then punting and then giving the Raiders more chances. But they clearly knew, like, hey, the Raiders can't stop any of the run. Let's just fucking hammer it, and that's what they did. So I'm okay with the game plan. And Justin Fields, he wasn't incredible, but he did make a couple plays, and we have Jesper Horsted.
Because what's crazy is if you look back at Matt Nagy's first games that he had when he had Mitch as quarterback, the ones like right after Mitch got drafted, their offense looked a lot more fun than it looks right now.
Yeah.
They were scripting out those first 15 plays or whatever for Mitch Trubisky. He was doing things like weird motions, little like
Yes.
dump passes, a lot of motion like behind the quarterback and fake handoffs and then wheel route behind it. He was doing fun stuff. It seems like the life has been sucked out of Matt Nagy, and you can see it happening in the plays that he chooses to call. Like,
Yes.
he's not creative anymore.
No, he's not creative. And again, I don't think like anyone gets open. It really does feel like, remember how I just described how whenever Aaron Rodgers has like 3 seconds, you know it's going to be a deep bomb to Devonte Adams. Whenever the Bears throw the ball out of the TV screen, so it's not like a screen or a dump down, so the TV camera has to move. I just know instinctively the guy is completely draped. Like, it just always feels like, I don't know what it is, but it feels like every guy on our team has no ability to get open.
The challenge that he had today on the 4th and inches, where there was 0%, there's negative 50% chance it was going to be overturned, and he chooses to challenge that. That to me is a fireable offense. When
bad.
literally everyone that's watching the game on TV can tell you that you're about to lose the challenge. Don't challenge. Why are you challenging? Matt Nagy, you idiot. Why doesn't every coach, do they not see what we see? Was he hoping that maybe if they showed a replay, it would be different on another angle that he hasn't seen yet, just because that's what he wanted the result to be? Or is he just an idiot?
Here's my thing with that challenge is that people were like, well, the spot was bad. It doesn't matter if the spot is bad. There has never been a successful challenge on a 4th and inches quarterback dive. Like, there just isn't, because you can't see anything. You just can't. Like, the refs guess. They're like, all right, I think the ball got across the line.
It looked like his body fell forward a
They
little
never
bit.
will overturn
Yeah.
that. They just won't. Until they put chips in the ball and like a laser line across the field, there's just no way to ever prove that.
It was the dumbest challenge that I've
Yes.
ever seen, maybe
Yes.
on the field.
Yes, and we said it in the moment, so it's not even like looking back at it.
Every coaching staff should just have a guy on staff who is really good at watching football on TV.
Yes.
Our eyes have been trained
We'll do
for
it.
this.
We will do it.
Yep.
So John Gruden,
Yeah,
he had a week.
quite a week.
Quite a week.
I'm shocked, Big Cat. I'm shocked. John Gruden would use a racial epithet in an email to the Washington Redskins.
Yes. That's
It's
crazy.
disgusting.
I'm
Bruce,
shocked that he actually uses email.
Yeah.
If we're being honest here.
That was probably his easiest way out. Would be like, dude, do I look like I own a computer?
Yeah, like, did it come from Hotmail? No, that's not me.
Not me. But one thing, and obviously the phrasing that he used, I think he said DeMaurice Smith.
No, yeah, dumb Oris.
DeMaurice Smith has lips like the Michelin Man. Obviously, like a racial connotation thing, which John Gruden will be the first to tell you, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, yada, yada, yada. He did like some apology where he's like, if it came from my email, then yeah, I guess I take accountability for it.
Which is like, yes, it
Yeah,
did.
yeah, it did.
It did.
It did.
But
But
like, wait, are you saying this came from me? Well, I guess if you're saying that, then I will say
Hand up.
sorry. But I don't know if that's actually my email.
he was like, I'll allow that. Yeah, I'll accept the fact that it came from my email address. No one's talking about the fact that the Michelin Man doesn't have lips.
Yeah.
That's John Gruden's first defense should have been like, have you seen a picture of the Michelin Man?
Yeah.
Because he's got a mouth. There are no lips on the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
But I think John Gruden definitely thought the Michelin Man had lips when he sent that email.
Wild story. And then the Raiders, like I don't think John Gruden's gonna get fired for this. I think John Gruden's gonna get fired because I don't think the Raiders are gonna be good for, like, they won the September Super Bowl.
Was he have 7 years left on his contract?
Yeah, we all talked about it, but this is now, and I think we brought this up last year, but like John Gruden's head coaching record, like after his Super Bowl win, which you could make the argument was with a lot of Tony Dungy's Dungy's team, has not been great.
No.
Like he has not wowed anyone. So it's kind of crazy. Like it kind of shows, though. You win one Super Bowl, you're pretty much set for life.
Yeah. Also, it's a big time butterfly effect. If Mo Lewis hadn't knocked Drew Bledsoe out, do the Raiders win that game in the Tuck Rule game? And then does John Gruden stay as coach of the Raiders? Do the Raiders maybe even win that Super Bowl?
Yeah. Here's his records post Super Bowl: 7-9, 5-11, 11-5. So that was a good year. 4-12, 9-7, 9-7, 4-12, 7-9, 8-8. So it's as average as you can get with two really bad seasons and one good season.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a 500 coach.
I don't think they're going to fire him for his record. I don't think that's going to, because he does have either 6 or 7 years
that's the problem.
left on his contract, which, by the way, shout out to John Gruden's agent. Good job.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, who represents him, but 10 years, is it 10 years, $100 million? $100 million?
All in escrow.
God damn. That's amazing. That's wizardry.
The Derek Carr actually mentioned after the game that the Bears were calling out some of their plays. Not great if you're a head coach and you hear that. Like that's,
well, Khalil Mack probably knows.
Yeah, I mean,
Revenge
it's been a
game.
while since he's been on that team.
This was his first true revenge game, though, because the other one was in London, so he wasn't able to take full advantage.
And the Bears lost that one, so it didn't count. All right, so let's move on. The game of the game of the day, Browns Chargers. What a fucking game! Incredible game. 1,000 yards of offense, 89 points. There were 6 touchdowns scored in the fourth quarter, including the Chargers carrying the Browns the Browns carrying the Chargers into the end zone, trying to get the ball back. Also, if you're a Browns fan, so let's do good news, bad news for Browns fans, then we'll talk about the Chargers. Good news is you've gone toe-to-toe with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Like you've played very, very tough games against both of them. Also good news, your offense looks awesome, right?
Your running game, you chunted them to death.
And Baker had a very good bounce back game. Bad news is it does still feel sometimes like the Browns in the fact that teams that have scored 40 points with 0 turnovers in the history of the NFL up until today were 463-0. That's very Browns to be the one.
Figuring out a way to lose
to be the one.
Yeah.
That hurts.
It does hurt a little bit, but like you said, the offense was good. The running game is something that's probably just going to get stronger as the year goes on, as long as you guys stay healthy.
Yep.
So you've got
Jedrick Wills was out, which is a big deal.
Yeah, and you're going to get Jarvis Landry back eventually.
Yep.
Who is way better for your passing game than Odell Beckham is.
And you also got screwed on that 4th and 4 PI call. That was egregious.
It's good to have the refs to blame for this one.
Yes.
If you didn't have the refs to blame, then you could look back at that stat and be like, holy shit, I can't believe that we're the one team that managed to put up all that offense, no turnovers, and still lose. But you got the get out of jail free card, which is the refs fucked us.
Yes.
And the refs did fuck you.
They did.
It was pass interference on the offense.
Yes.
If it was anything.
It was very, very bad.
And it was an awful call. The Chargers got lucky. And then, the Browns actually pulled a very smart move at the end of the game, which was dragging Austin Eckler into the end zone to make him score a touchdown. Austin Eckler, you have to take a knee there. You can't try to go forward. That every team should have. Trent Richardson should extend his career by being the guy that gets in at the end of the game at the goal line if you don't want to score a touchdown.
Yes.
Get back in the Hall of Fame discussion, Trent. But it was a dumb play by Eckler, because he was probably, if you're going to score, he would have tried to score on the first one where he took a knee at the 1. No big deal. I had the Chargers against the spread. I got pissed at that. So the Browns actually helped everybody that bet on the Chargers by dragging him into the end zone. You gave yourself a chance to win.
Yeah, and it was the ending, they were dumping it down. The only thing that I would be nervous about with the Browns, the defense got gashed, but there was also some weird injuries, like guys getting. It was one of those games that it was kind of like a Big 12 game where not only were points going back and forth, not only were yards going back and forth, but like every 3 minutes some guy got hurt. Mm-hmm. And The only thing that would make me nervous is I do think the Browns, outside of the PI call, which was completely egregious, and like if you're a Browns fan, you have every right to be upset about that. The Browns still should have won this game because they were gashing the Chargers all day, and then they get the ball with a 1-point lead and 3 minutes left, and they kind of like Stefanski kind of turtled a little. He went conservative and like didn't. Like, you should have just kept on fucking doing what you're doing, running your offense. You probably would have had another touchdown. I don't know. It just felt like that was, like, I think Stefanski's a really good coach. I thought he got conservative in that moment when Staley, on the other side, like, he never takes his foot off the gas. It's awesome to watch. He knows fourth down doesn't matter. Like, Justin Herbert will pick it up. Like, third and long, we're whole playbook. Like, the Chargers are really, really good, and Justin Herbert is really, really good.
Yeah, so Brandon Staley's getting a lot of talk because obviously, like going for it on 4th and 7 was a ballsy move.
He does it every fourth down. It feels
he does
like
it all the time. But they're talking about like, okay, they've got 4 downs, which it turns out I believe that's 33% more plays.
Yeah.
To get yardage. I'm not a math guy, but that sounds right to me. But it's not just that. I remember I was talking to one of Army's coaches like a year ago. And he was telling
reports out of Army.
Reports out of West Point.
Yeah.
Reports out of West Point.
The story out of West Point.
The story out of West Point is that it's not just like they look at it like they have 4 downs to get this yardage. It impacts their play calling on 2nd down and 3rd down.
Yes.
So they know, okay, on 3rd down, if it's like 3rd and 8, okay, we only need to get 3 yards, and then we're going to go for it again. So you can call different plays on 3rd down than you normally would, and the defense is prepared to defend on 3rd down like you're trying to get all that yardage at the time. So
like dump downs and draws and stuff like that where there's like, we have another down, so we don't have to panic.
He's like next level. Now, the thing I will say about Brandon Staley is he's almost too good at math, and it makes me angry because he's so much smarter than I am. And when he's talking sometimes, it's like, when he gave that press conference, he's had like 2 press conferences in the last few days that have gone mega viral because he's a football guy and he's explaining things really well, and he's very smart. And I would love to have him as a head coach for my team. He's a great coach.
He was, but not to do your Washington football team thing, but he was in Hallis Hall and then let him go.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about another man's job, but Ron Rivera's doing a perfectly fine job.
No, but I'm saying like you guys, Washington football team has a laundry list of coaches that were in building and let them go.
Yeah. So
I'm like, damn, I wish I had.
Right. So Brandon Staley's an awesome coach. It feels like when he's doing those press conferences, you can see internally he's like, Mina Kimes is going to absolutely love this. After he said, and we like Mina. Mina's a friend of ours, but like he knows that analytics Twitter is they're just nutting themselves constantly whenever he speaks. But he's right.
But I also loved his press conference where it was anti-analytics Twitter, and it was explained so well when he talked about running the football.
Yeah, but
that was great because it's like analytics Twitter hates running the football and thinks it's the dumbest thing ever, and he's like, there's a physical nature of football that if you don't we could be incredible at passing, but if you don't run at all, you just can't like win a football game the same way because your offensive line can't block the same way all game. Your physicality up front, like the defense doesn't have to be tested the same way. I love that because that's like he gets the whole picture. He gets the numbers, but he also gets that football is a very fucking physical, violent sport, and sometimes you got to just like man up on people.
The crazy thing is he's right about everything that he says.
Yes,
I'm just like kind of blown away by how correct he is every time.
I love that one though.
Yeah,
that one was awesome.
That one was great too. I just think like he makes me feel dumb by how much more about football he knows than I do.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate that, Coach.
But I love that. I loved that press conference too because I think it also, we all get affected by the fact that we play video games and all that shit where it's like, why don't you just pass all the time? Passing is sick. Passing is awesome. It's like, no. I remember our friend Sam Schwartzstein also talking to Kyle Long, like, if you don't call run plays, the offensive line is in trouble because they need to be able to go forward sometimes.
Right.
Like that's football.
Yep.
And that part like gets lost sometimes on Twitter.
So Brandon Staley, casual, competitive. Right now, he's my coach of the year if I had a vote.
He's awesome. So the Chargers are awesome. I do think that as bad as the final score and the yardage looks for both defenses, I think you can chalk this up to sometimes games just get out of control.
Sometimes there's a shootout. One thing leads to another. Sorry,
just snowballs.
A rivalry.
Yeah, a rivalry. But you know what I mean? Like it just, you can't really explain it. I don't think that this game is indicative of future games when it comes to like, I think the Browns defense is still very good. I think the Chargers defense is still good. I don't think that like, oh my God, like there's a big problem here. They got into one of those games, and it went back and forth all. It was awesome to watch.
You know what I love about the Chargers offensive line is Rashawn Slater. He did give up a sack to Myles Garrett, as we reported early.
Yep.
But after he gave up the sack, he went up to Austin Eckler. He was like, hey, can you stop chipping my guy? Because it's easier for me to block him one-on-one. And you go back, you watch the replay of the sack. Eckler chipped Garrett off the block, let him go inside where he got the sack. So Rashawn Slater was like, just let me try to handle Myles Garrett.
Yeah, you actually caused that sack.
And he actually handled him pretty decently, which is crazy because Myles Garrett, he just teleports through defenders.
He's a monster. All right, we got 2 left, and then we'll get to the end of the show, talk a little more stuff. Here we go. Giants Cowboys. Mike Glennon. There was a moment in time on Sunday where we had Mike Glennon and Nathan Peterman taking snaps at the same time. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
I remember.
So this game, the Cowboys were going to win this game if Daniel Jones didn't get concussed, or like if Daniel Jones played the whole game. I think the Cowboys were going to win this game just because the Cowboys offense, I don't know how you stop them. They can beat you every single way, but it did suck that Daniel Jones got knocked out of this game because it felt like he was starting to play good football and it felt like stuff was going his way. And it was one of those games that, like, the Giants, they lose Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones. Their first round pick had a breakout star-studded performance, Kadarius Toney, who's electric, 189 yards. Oh, and then he got ejected because he punched a player. Yeah. So it was like everything that could have happened, everything that was going well for the Giants got pulled out from under them, and it was just like, forget that game, bury the football.
The Giants were also hiding Kadarius Toney from us.
Yeah.
All season long. It took their top 3 wide receivers being out for Toney to be a big part of the game.
He was
plan.
good last week.
He was good, but it took them having all those injuries to even try to use him in the passing game. And he went out there and lit it up today, but Joe Judge is going to have him run laps till he dies because he tried to punch a guy in the face. I looked some information about Kadarius Toney up. You know, he's a rapper. He goes by the name Young Joka.
Ooh.
Kadarius Toney,
I just remember
Young Joka.
I just remember him at Florida being like when they say SEC speed, that's the guy you think of.
They're talking
where
about
it's like,
yep.
Oh yeah, just give him a screen and then he'll just run past everyone else, and it's crazy.
I'd like to renew my call for Trayvon Diggs to get the MVP.
Six interceptions in 5 games.
He should be the MVP right now.
And he actually should have had more. He actually had two that I saw.
He caught the hard one, dropped one of the easy ones.
He had 2 that I saw that could have easily been interceptions.
On pace for 24 interceptions.
Insane. And I really do think the Cowboys are very, very good. I do not know how you stop their offense because it feels like they can do even running the football. They do it 2 different ways with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Mm-hmm. Like they have, you can't defend them because if you stack the box, Dak will just tear you up. And if you try to defend CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and their tight end's fucking good, they're just gonna. And I think Michael Gallup's hurt right now, so when he comes back, Dak will just they'll run the ball, and then Dak can also make plays with his feet. So I don't know how you stop their offense. And Kellen Moore's awesome at playing.
Then Jerry Jones will open up the window, shine the sun directly into your eyes, and blind you in that stadium. He has a door that he can press that opens up the window, and he can go right into the offense.
It's illegal.
It's
the sun is illegal.
It's like he's trying to fry ants with a magnifying glass, except it's the New York Giants.
They showed poor Mike Glennon, trying to drive the Giants down, and they showed him taking the snap, and the sun was like literally in his eyeballs. Mm-hmm. And it's illegal. It should be illegal. They shouldn't be able to use the sun that way.
I agree. We should do our BCS rankings because the Cowboys.
No, we do those Friday.
We do those on Fridays?
Friday.
Okay.
Well, we just did it on Friday, so let's wait.
The Cowboys, they shot up my poll.
Yeah, so let's do a Friday.
My internal poll.
They were my number 2 team, but let's do a Friday.
Reports out of my apartment indicate the Cowboys are very highly thought of.
Yes. I had one other thing. Fuck, what was it? Oh, I think the Cowboys are set up now with so many offensive weapons, and their defense is playing really well with Dan Quinn that not even Mike McCarthy can fuck this up.
So that's the one when you say, like, I don't know how the offense slows down.
It's Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy slows it down.
But I think there's enough around Mike McCarthy at this point that he will try. He will try to fuck this up.
Well,
but I don't think he can.
Are we not giving enough credit to offensive consultant Ben McAdoo?
Yes.
Because there's a double revenge game today. Ben McAdoo and Jason Garrett.
Yep.
Going at each other. 2 bright offensive young minds.
Yes, I'm sure Jerry Jones actually looked at Jason Garrett and was like, I kind of want you back.
Yeah, you still got that clap, huh? Saquon got Zaza Pacheep shotted by his own teammate.
Yep.
rolled his ankle.
Saquon's he's just injury like the luck. That was a basketball injury. That was a rebound basketball injury in a football game.
His ankle looked like a snake swallowing a softball.
It looked like Mike Posner trying to walk across the country.
Yeah, like he actually did get bit by a snake. He is snake bit.
Yes, he is snake bit.
It was bad. Anytime you have to cart somebody off the field for an ankle sprain, it's tough, which is worse than a break.
It is actually worse than a break. All right, last game, Cardinals-Niners. We can do this one quick. It was kind of a boring game.
Mm-hmm.
Niners defense played well. Kyler, I think, might be banged up, which is like that's basically what did him in last year. His shoulder, he was holding his shoulder.
He's getting his bicep massaged for him.
Yeah, I also Trey Lance up and down. Like it was clear that they had a good game plan for him. They didn't have Kittle. Like the Niners played as well as they could have given the circumstances. The Cardinals make no sense to me at this point because when you actually break it down, they have struggled with the Jags and the Vikings and kind of struggled a little bit today because it was a 10-7 game, a beat-up Niners team, and they absolutely housed the Titans and absolutely housed the Rams. A very weird 5-0.
Mm-hmm. Really strange 5-0. They're not if I was Mercury Morris, I would be popping the champagne.
Yeah, it's popped.
It's popped. It's drank.
Yes.
Mercury Morris is currently drunk off Andre.
Yes.
But yeah, Kyler, I love it when he throws to Kyler too, Rondale Moore.
Yep.
Because it looks like the same person who throws the pass and catches the pass.
Mm-hmm.
The shortest combination, I believe, we'll have to do some digging on this. Some deep stats. Shortest combination of any quarterback and wide receiver to connect on a touchdown pass.
Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett is probably second.
Maybe. Did Trendon Holiday ever get – no, because he had the Brockett chip, right?
Yeah.
That throws the stats off. Trendon Holiday and – yeah. It's got to be the shortest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Rondale Moore is a short king. Trey Lance, I think, has the least fuckable spiral in the NFL.
Yes.
When he's throwing those, 15-yard passes – I don't think he even tries to throw a spiral on it. He just grabs it and throws it like a baseball. The spiral's a really great friend. I think of it like a sister.
Yes, his arm is too strong for the football.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's it. Like he throws through the spiral.
Yeah, he grabs it. I think he actually puts one finger on the opposite side of the ball and then throws it like a fork ball.
Yes. All right. Should we get to the rest of the show?
I don't like Kyler's visor either. I still don't like it.
Also, the Cardinals defense is good, and the Niners defense did a really good job with Kyler today.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kyler has been lighting it up, and they held their own. All right, should we do football guy, and then we'll do who's back of the week? So PFT football guy of the week is brought to you by
the most football truck in the world, the Chevy Silverado. It's the most advanced Silverado ever. Go check it out right now if you haven't seen it. It's the best truck for tailgating. It's the best truck for football guys. If you're an AWL, you know that the Chevy Silverado is the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. As truck guys, we know this is 100% true. Football season's here, so it's your time to step up your tailgating game. And when I say that it is the best tailgating truck, I mean it. I mean it 100%. It's got a primary tailgate that opens with a push of a button on the key fob or from inside the truck. It's got a multi-flex tailgate, so you have 6 convenient configurations that will give you a step up on your tailgate game. If you're going to a tailgate this year and you're not driving a Silverado, I don't know what you're doing because you're just going to get shown up by the guy that does. Chevy Silverado is the best truck on the road. That's just a fact. It's the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. If you go to your Chevy dealership and you whisper into their ear, part of my take sent me, they're going to give you a full tank of gas, $100 off, and a free cup of coffee. That's on the house. Just try it. Just give it a shot. Report back to us. We've had a couple people that tweet us actually after they buy a brand new Chevy Silverado. They're awesome trucks. You're great for buying a Chevy Silverado. Your friends will love it. Your family will love it. Everyone will love it. You're going to love it most importantly. So check out the Chevy Silverado today. It's the strongest, most advanced Silverado of all time.
All right, so we have the update. It's Broncos -3. So
okay.
Split that.
All right.
If anyone's keeping score.
I was.
I can't believe that Patriots line. I think you have to take the Patriots. 3.5.
3.5?
That's the easy. That's America is going to say Cowboys is the easiest bet in the world.
It's true.
But
I've been 100% on rat lines this year.
Oh.
I've leaned into
Titans
square.
Was pretty rat today, and it was an easy win.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't think that was rat because
It was
Meyer. Those guys quit on. That was my mortal lock. That was not a rat. Yeah, no, that line made sense.
Sorry, free money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
was.
but there's a bunch of free. Like the Vikings was free money, and it wasn't. Also, the Bills are a fucking wagon, so they finished off. Our projections turned out to be correct.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills won 38-20.
We're basically Nate Silver.
Yep. Josh Allen was awesome. I think the Chiefs have real problems. I think that they don't. They do and they don't, actually. I should take that back because they have Patrick Mahomes, so he will make up. Like, this is what the very special quarterbacks do in the NFL. They can cover up for a lot of your problems.
He's like good sauce on a meal. He's like ketchup. Patrick Mahomes is ketchup.
But like Aaron Rodgers is similar, where it's like, hey, if you take that guy off that team is probably a really bad team. The Chiefs' defense is very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
I know they will get Frank Clark back, but Patrick
was Frank Clark not playing tonight?
I don't think so. Maybe he was.
But I think
that's even worse if he was. He was playing. That's even worse.
I think their problems go deeper than just Frank Clark.
No, I'm just saying the pass rush, like the one thing that the Chiefs have been able to do is like our defense sucks, but we have a couple guys up front that can do it.
One thing I noticed during the game tonight, like right in the first quarter, the first time Travis Kelce caught a ball, he's looking to do the downfield laterals every time he catches a ball. He's going to be doing it sometime in the next couple weeks. Trust me. He's like actively looking for it. I don't know if it's part of the playbook or they're just like let Kelce be Kelce out there. But they're implementing my rugby offense. And when they do, they will be the richer for it. I'm going to open up my tweets right now because Jake has been firing off basic tweets. So I want to see what you've done for my account. Oh, you got some followers for me, Jake. Thank you. The last place Kansas City Chiefs. Just as we all expected.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one.
I will not believe a game with Patrick Mahomes is over until there are 0 seconds left.
That's a great one.
That's another good one, too. Something tells me that we'll be seeing these two teams again in January. That's okay.
I don't think we will.
Here's a really good.
Maybe.
Here's a great one. Nobody. NFL officials roughing the passer. That's perfect.
Yeah. Love it.
Perfect basic.
Thank
you.
Yeah, the Bills though are I mean, I know it's early. And it's only 5 games in, but the Bills are very, very good, and they are in now the driver's seat because they beat. I mean, you'd think that the Chiefs would be their main competition. Obviously, the Chargers are right there now too. But that's who else am I missing? I mean, the Ravens, and the Browns, but the Bills have to be the favorite to win the AFC now.
Mm-hmm. Although the Bengals could tie anybody.
The Bengals could tie anyone. Billy, football guy of the week.
Congratulations to last week's winner, Sawyer Bittner, the quarterback for the University of Regina, the Moose Jaw native. Some say he's still bleeding out of his face this day.
Okay.
I like when the words blend together in University of Virginia.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All of our nominees this week are all U.S. American. Our first one is...
Thank you. As opposed to not American.
Last one's Canadian.
U.S. American.
Could be American, yeah.
So,
Puerto Rico.
First guy is an unknown coach on Coastal Carolina who...
I think it's their strength and conditioning coach.
No, he's unknown.
He's unknown.
Yeah.
But
he just didn't look it up.
No, I literally texted a guy on the team. He was like, I don't really want to tell you who it was. I was like, okay. Right. Anyway, so he changed. But he might. I don't think it's the guy in the video. Anyway, he chainsawed a stuffed animal wolf. He chainsawed its head off after they beat Arkansas State, and it was a huge win for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
Okay,
so
I didn't have a problem with cutting the head off a simulated dog, but I did have a problem with how cute the stuffed animal was, and it was like somewhat realistic.
Yeah.
And for a split second, I thought they were actually killing a dog in the locker room.
It's pretty hyped, but pretty lit. Anyway, second up is Naeem Hines, punt returner for the Colts.
Yeah.
He was quoted on saying, before going back there to get a punt, I don't care about my life every time. It takes a special type of person to look up in the air while all the other people are looking to rip your head off.
Yeah.
So,
if you're not prepared to die, you're not prepared to live.
Love it.
Our third nominee is Bruce Pearl, the head coach of Auburn basketball, who before the Auburn football game was going nuts in the stands, tarps off with the boys.
He loves taking his shirt off.
He does.
Yeah. He did that going back to Tennessee.
Move. So, you know what it is? I haven't done this because I don't want to betray like my community, but it is definitely a guy who is heavier, who loses weight, and everyone knows the guy who gets on a diet, loses 20 pounds, and then just can't stop taking his shirt off. I would never do that because I always gain the weight back, so I don't want to ever be like really let people know. anytime I get even like remotely in better shape, if I took off my shirt, and people would be like, well, I'll just wait like 2 weeks and you'll put it all back on, fatso. So I don't do that. But that is a move that everyone knows their one friend who got really into shape and now just rips his shirt off any chance he gets, and it's very annoying.
So is Bruce Pearl really in shape now?
No, but he's
better.
This goes back.
He's looking pretty cut.
Yeah, he's better.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's a lot better.
So it's just a cheat code for guys like who might be a little bit on the thicker side.
Yeah.
If you want to make the crowd that you're in 20% more hype,
Yes.
just rip the shirt off, and then
Yes.
the crowd gets going.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about dudes that we just get more like we get more aggressive when another guy takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
There might be a fight. Or
Yeah.
they might fuck. I don't know.
It's
Either
like a
way,
dog barking.
I'm in for a treat.
Yes.
And our fourth nominee is Dan Campbell for crying after losing the game today. So
Okay.
That was a very football
Self-explanatory.
guy.
So-
Billy. Okay, good job, Billy. Do you have the blog ready to go?
yeah, it's in the chamber.
It's in the chamber, ready to
Find
roll.
out.
Did you want to do your Firefest real quick?
My Firefest?
Yeah. From Friday? Oh, that video's not coming out yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I got shit pumped.
No, don't tell everyone.
I'm not
but
just gonna
you
say.
want
I'm
to do
just
your
gonna get out in
Firefest?
front of it. I'm
No,
just gonna get out in front of it.
no, don't tell. But so Billy, there will be a video of Billy and Jake going to Dave & Buster's and competing in 11 competitions. Get excited for that video.
I won the
And
one.
Billy's
Athlon
Firefest.
+1.
Yes,
I
that's going to be fun to watch.
Billy, these are all just probably like video games, like handheld games.
There's no way
right?
you lost.
There wasn't like any athletic
look,
part of the
and if you
competition,
lost,
was
there's
there?
no way you lost like 9 of them.
Definitely not if there was like a cool weapon game
I
that
have
you guys
11.
played against each other.
Yeah,
Right?
like hunting.
I won the
like-
ones that count.
Like using a tool for survival.
Yep.
Jake's better. Jake wouldn't be better at that than you.
Ones?
What?
You said ones, as in it was plural.
Yeah.
Jake
Okay.
is the best in the office, though. There's no shame in losing to him.
There's a lot of table
There
games.
was
that are,
there was a
fine motor skills or
the story out of Billy's camp was that he hopped out of the Uber a block away from the office because he didn't want to face the music on Friday afternoon.
what?
That's the story out of Billy's camp.
You should
No,
just
just go to
brought
the
your
train
dog.
station.
maybe-
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
just go.
If
to the
you
train
had
station.
won, would you have gone straight to the train station, or would you maybe have,
Theoretically.
Dude, it was
theoretically?
Friday. I was
If you had
going
theoretically won, would you have maybe come back to the office?
You
Were
know
you in
what?
the office?
Billy didn't
Yeah, I
wanna-
was at the office.
Yeah, we were there. We were working on Friday.
What do you?
I
Yes.
vlogged on Friday.
Yeah.
I work from home.
Just that was the story out of Billy's camp.
Billy didn't want to come into the office and have us be all.
I'm good. When
I
that
would've
video
not
comes
true.
out, I want the director's cut of that video. Actually, we should do a director's cut and just over it.
Every time he loses.
Yeah. So in this scene, Billy, the lights just went
is
out.
that what was going on? You guys thought I didn't come back to the office because I couldn't.
No,
face the
that's
music?
what happened.
No.
Okay.
All right,
Anyway.
Billy says no.
I'm so excited for this video.
Look,
11
the
competitions?
mountains were blue.
And you only won how many? Oh, wow.
So you got drunk on the job.
Wow. One beer. Yeah, Bubba was there. One beer. Got it. Oh, I'm so excited for this video.
It's
Jake,
hard to throw axes.
Oh, my God. And Jake just waxed you.
Wait till you see what happened with the axe throwing, the animal hunting.
Oh, no. You lost an animal hunting?
Right up Billy's alley.
I honestly, it was fun. I had a good time.
you had such a good
That's
time.
all that
You
matters.
got it. You hopped out of the Uber. I
That
heard
is not
it was
that-
a
I mean,
moving
the fact-
car, and you
No.
dropped and rolled out.
I just wanted to. The Uber was going right by the train
Right,
station,
right.
and we were in traffic. So of course I'm going to
Yeah.
get out early.
Bear Grylls would be ashamed of you.
I had places to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, to your bathroom and cry.
Yes. Okay. Let's finish up the show. We got Who's Back of the Week. It's brought to you by our friends at Cash App. Go download the Cash App right now. Enter the referral code Barstool. You get $10. The stock market's back. Investing through Cash App is back. Buying and sell Bitcoin is back. You can do it all easily with a touch of a button with the Cash App. It links directly to your bank account. You can buy Bitcoin. You can sell Bitcoin. You can play the stock market. All of it when you download the Cash App. Enter that referral code Barstool. You get $10 for free, $10 to the ASPCA when you download the Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today. We love the Cash App. The best app in the world. Download it right now. Hank, Who's Back of the Week?
My Who's Back of the Week is crazy MLB like technicalities and rules, also the Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
So they won like a 37-inning game. It started, I think, before the 1 o'clock games did and ended during Sunday Night Football. Extremely long baseball game. But there was, I think it was in the 12th or 13th inning, the Devil Rays had a guy on first. They hit a bomb to right field, hit the top of the like 2-foot wall, and bounced back on the ground, ricocheted off the outfielder that was running to like relay and catch it off the wall, and went back over the fence, which was a technical ground rule double.
Yes.
Even though it wasn't, because it was unintentionally, he didn't mean to. He didn't intend for the ball to go back over the fence, but it did. If it didn't go over the fence, they would have scored. Would have had a guy on third. Instead, it was second and third. The Red Sox got out of the inning and then walked it off next inning. And people are
very mad,
trying to pretend like now they're like, well, now that this has precedence been set, outfielders can just throw the ball over the fence.
Well, the problem is there's
see that.
only one outfield in Major League Baseball where the wall is the height of your dick microwave.
Right.
Like it makes no sense. This is another quirk of Fenway. I also do the only thing that I hate when happens when this, because I mean the Red Sox, I think they're going to win the World Series at this point. I think everything that happens, the game 2 when they came back on the Rays, and then tonight, like doesn't it feel like they have those weird vibes going now?
Yeah, I don't know if they have the pitching, but they do have
Either
the
way,
vibes. The vibes
the
are
Rays
there.
are right.
pitching
Who needs
will work its
pitching when
way
you have
out.
vibes?
When you have vibes in baseball,
it's
baseball's a vibe sport.
It's Team of Destiny vibes.
Yes.
You're lying to
Destiny
yourself
play.
if you don't think that they're a Team of Destiny right now.
Right. And
then wait, are they playing on Marathon Monday?
Playing on Marathon Monday,
Okay,
elimination
Team of
game,
Destiny
yellow
vibes.
jerseys.
yeah, right. So
Yeah, big time
they do
Team
have
of
Team of
Destiny
Destiny vibes.
And Kyle Schwarber, I just want to thank you, Big Cat.
I love
I
him
knew
so
all about him
much.
from the Cubs day, but he had an error where he just was underhand tossing the ball and threw it over the guy's head. The next inning he did it again, except he made the play successfully. They got the out, and then he celebrated like they won the World Series and like tipped his cap to the crowd. It was
I
hilarious.
love Kyle Schwarber
Absolutely
so
hilarious.
Much. He's my favorite ever. Like he's the best. I just fucking love that guy.
He's got the clutch gene.
He's got the
got
clutch gene.
He doesn't think
Yes,
at all.
he's a softball player.
Yeah.
Like he's just see-ball, hit ball guy.
You remember that story that he told us about when he was coming back from his ACL?
Yeah.
He stood in the batter's box because he
Yes.
wasn't able to swing at pitches. He stood in the batter's box for hours just tracking pitches, 100-mile-an-hour pitches coming out of a machine with his eyes.
Yeah.
You're a complete psycho to be able to do that, but that's what makes him awesome. It's
And
like,
every time he hits
gets
a home run,
locked in
it's
and
so
fall.
awesome. The only thing I would say is that I didn't see it on Twitter, but I would assume Red Sox fans are now saying, well, he hit a 2-run homer, so we would have won anyway. That's
No.
always the dumbest argument.
Yeah.
I said that.
Because it's like
Yeah.
nothing.
And it's dumb. It's very
Yeah,
dumb.
because nothing like
The momentum,
Yeah, right.
everything.
Everything like it's a butterfly effect. Sports are butterfly effects. Like if the Rays score 1 run there, it's different in the bottom of whatever the 14th.
And they would have definitely scored one, but they also would have had a guy on third. Like,
Right.
you have no
so
idea.
none of
what's gonna
those.
happen.
Yeah. When we after the fact we're like, well, it didn't even matter. It definitely mattered. But they by the letter of the law, that was the correct call.
If you want to talk
Yeah.
about
You
vibes,
can't like complain about that.
I also feel like the Devil Rays vibes got thrown off last year when they were in the playoffs. They've got the best pitcher in baseball, and they pull him out. The Dodgers end up winning the World Series. That felt like window closing.
Oh, how about this for vibes for the Rays?
Devil Rays.
Do they have the best record in the AL? I think so. Yes, they must. Best record in the AL. Awesome team. Great season. Their owner was like, yeah, it's not sustainable to have a franchise that plays all their games in Tampa. So going forward, we're gonna split cities. That's bad vibes. When you have the best team in the AL and you're like, yeah, our fans suck so bad and we don't have a good stadium. We have the weirdest rinky-dink stadium ever that we're going to have to play half our games in fucking Montreal.
Yeah, no, and when you especially bring back, like, where I think baseball could really take off right now is in Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, that would be fun to try to get free agents when you're like, hey, you have to live in 2 cities. Mm-hmm. That's fun.
Well, they should play in Montreal in the summertime, and then once it gets a little bit chillier, move down to Tampa. That'd be fun.
Dickie V with a fucking beret on
Amazing.
would be incredible.
They should go by the
Throw
Expos
out
when
the
they're
first
up there,
pitch. I'm
too.
pretty
He
sure.
did?
For game 1.
For game 1.
Did he nail it in there?
I'm not sure.
Other baseball
90
stuff
miles an
real
hour to
quick.
black?
White Sox came back. That was actually electric. The White Sox, like, they were down and out. I think it was like 5-1, 6-1 and they just started hitting fucking bombs on the Astros. What do you say?
There's that Warlock dude with the stick pointing it at the home plate.
Oh, yeah, he put the whammy on him.
Yes. Yeah. So I think the White Sox, like, tomorrow's a very, very, very big day. If that game goes,
catcher up halfway.
Oh no, if that game goes 5, it might be a White Sox Red Sox team of destinies.
That'd be fun.
I don't even know when it's a football weekend. I can't keep track of the baseball playoffs. My team's on it. Like I don't who won the Dodgers? Or I mean, who won the Brewers Braves game? 1-1. There we go. That's news.
It's also
to me.
a real mind
breaking
fuck.
news. 1-1.
You shouldn't be allowed to have
4
Hunter
games
Renfroe.
Monday.
4 games Monday. That's great.
1,
Okay.
3:30,
Whoa.
7.
Oh, you're doing
9:30.
this. Okay, nice. I like that. Can we get
Wait,
what
Where's
station
Joe,
they're on?
What is Joe Buck going to be doing, like, laps around town?
I don't know if he's in the rotation.
He's gonna be
until
running the marathon?
LCS.
Jake is so detail oriented on Thursday night when we had like college football and NFL and baseball to watch. He texted us the TV setup because we have 6 TVs in the office. He texted us what was on each TV and what station it was on.
Just to like get mentally prepared what kind of score bugs you're
Yeah,
going to see.
right. Got it.
Who
Got
could
it. I
you-
loved
you could
it.
be
No, I loved
listening
it. I'm
to.
not saying it's a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
just it was psycho, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Score bugs are all fucked up now for me because the early game, the London game, because it was New York rules, was on NBC.
Yeah.
Even though it was NFL Network. And then the Saints and the football team were playing on CBS. And then you've got AFC teams playing on Fox all day long.
Makes no sense.
Figure it out. I don't get it.
I think it's TBS, but whichever baseball, the one that doesn't have the strike zone or how fast the pitches goes
Yes,
drives me
so
insane.
bad.
Drives me
So bad.
drives me insane.
Can you give us a quick rundown? Do you have it? The networks?
1:07 p.m. Milwaukee, Atlanta, TBS. 3:37 p.m. Houston, Chicago, FS1. 7:07 Tampa, Boston, FS1. 9:37 San Francisco, Dodgers, TBS.
What a day! What a day! Thank
Yeah.
you, Jake.
Should be Don Orsillo. My guess.
We're going
my
deep.
guess-
This is guesses.
Don Orsillo, game 1. Adam Amin, game 2. Joe Davis, game 3. Brian Anderson, game 4.
Parlay. I'm
Yes.
parlaying those picks. I'm gonna
Let's
parlay
go.
that. Yes.
Fuck yes. PFT, your who's back?
Yep. My who's back of the week is, I'll keep mine really quick. U.S. soccer sucking ass because we lost tonight. I didn't know
Was
that
it
we
friendly?
played.
It was a friendly.
It was qualifier. It was the octagonal.
Shit.
We lost to Panama. I think in Panama. We didn't have our A team though. We didn't have Pepe.
Well, Pulisic was also hanging out and
Pulisic
fucking watching Jets games.
Was watching real football.
Yes.
Pepe was probably still in Dallas.
Yeah.
Who knows where he was? But yeah, we wrote this one off as a loss on the road. But yeah,
Okay.
we suck ass now. But then we have a game. I think Tuesday. I think we're playing Tuesday here
That's
in the
I
States.
can't honestly.
Yeah.
That's not.
A lot of games.
That's so far down on the list
A
of
lot of
things
games
I care about
You
right
should-
now.
Don't schedule this during a Sunday. I didn't know until after we lost that we lost.
I knew because I have a couple friends that are very obsessed with the team, but I also like it was one of the when you read a text message and you don't even you're like I'm not even gonna
Not
put
gonna
this in my
bother
brain
during that
Yeah, I'm
one.
not
We
gonna
lost-
enter this information in my brain.
We lost in Panama. Give us the canal back, bitch.
Yeah. All right, my Firefest, or sorry, my that's Billy's Firefest. Sorry, I wrote that down. My who's back is heavyweight boxing. That was an awesome fight. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder Saturday night. If you didn't watch it, you should go back and watch it because it's rare to have 5 knockdowns in one fight. And every time a guy got knocked down, it really did feel like the fight was over, and they just fucking got back up and just hammered on each other, and it was awesome. It was the best.
The cool thing about these two heavyweights fighting is literally every punch that they throw, if it hit one of us, would kill us.
Yeah, no.
And they were chewing some of them. Deontay Wilder got hit harder and more frequently than like any fighter I've ever seen, and he was passing out in the middle of rounds, but still throwing a right hand that could murder people.
And Tyson Fury was out. Like, he was out. He actually got semi-saved by the bell. Like, he got knocked down with 20 seconds left in that round. It was so fucking great. There's nothing like a heavyweight boxing fight when both guys are just throwing, and it's like this. It's maybe like the top level UFC, like when it's like the 2 top guys and it's like a big buildup. But even that, like, I just don't think anything can touch heavyweight boxing at its peak. And that was at its peak. That was fight of the year, like, unbelievable.
What was weird about it is even though Wilder lost, I feel like there was a lot of legacy talk about Wilder.
Yeah.
And the way that he lost, actually, if you look 10, 20 years down the line, we're going to remember what he did in this loss.
That trilogy,
maybe more than if he had won. Like when you think of the Ward Gotti fights, sometimes you remember like the losers of those fights that just kept battling. Deontay Wilder was almost killed in the ring a couple times, and he kept going at him and almost won the fight. It was crazy. The announcers kept saying every round, like, well, this fight's probably going to be over in the next minute or so. Yeah. Like they were saying there's no chance it goes 12. It ends up going to like the 8th, 9th round. Both guys are out on their feet, still throwing haymakers. I didn't want it to end, but on the other hand, I was like, I hope it please end it fast, so these guys will be healthy afterwards. But damn, it was an awesome fight.
It was so much fun to watch.
I streamed it illegally.
I
got away with it.
That's not cool.
Got away with it.
That's not cool. That's a crime, and we don't want people to do that. We don't want to encourage people to do that.
For rough and rowdy,
fact that we have a pay-per-view business.
I will never do it again.
Yes,
it was a one-time thing, but I felt like a bad boy.
Yeah, it was an awesome fight. Also, I think that Deontay Wilder came out late because he was watching Alabama lose, which is a double loser because he's from Tuscaloosa, which we will talk about on Wednesday with Booger because he does college football as well. But what a fucking Saturday. The fact that we had, like, Texas OU was – that game the game started with a first play touchdown, like 4 plays later, block punt touchdown, and then a fox ran on the field. And then there was still like 5 hours left of the game. And then to top the whole crazy day off, Alabama lost. First time that Saban has ever lost to one of his assistants. Crazy day. So we will talk about it.
If I'm A&M, I definitely put up that win on the side of my stadium where you put all your fake national championships. Yep. That should go up there above like the 1920 World Championship or whatever you claimed.
There's something about, too, like Jimbo Fisher and also just college coaches in general, just being able to sense when the seat's starting to get a little hot and winning that big game. Like Jimbo was starting to get talked about. Like, what is this guy doing? Like, we were supposed to be really good this year. We suck. Beats Alabama. Beating Alabama, if you're in the SEC, if you beat Alabama, that's almost as good as winning a national title. In terms of, like, you'd be like, well, we beat Alabama a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
like they've only lost 4 times in the decade.
Jimbo hasn't gotten a contract extension in like 16 months.
Yes.
Now's the time to strike. He probably has the same agent that John Gruden does.
Yeah.
Jimbo is that man is paid.
Also, Coach O is probably gonna get fired. It sucks.
I don't want to think about it.
But we'll talk to Booger about it on Wednesday. There was he'll actually give us some insight.
There was also a lot of debate on whether or not, like, when it's appropriate to storm the field. I say if you're drunk enough and no one's going to get you arrested, then just do it.
There was a moment in time, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, where I was like, yeah, if you're a favorite, like no, fuck that. People who gatekeep storming the field is so stupid. College kids want to have fun. You know what I remember? I remember when I stormed the field when Wisconsin beat Ohio State. Ohio State was not 1. I think there were 3. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. Everyone should get to experience that at a big college. I don't care how the win happens. I don't care, like, who, you're favored. It's 3 versus 4. Storm the field, have fun. Losers online, if they're tweeting about it, they're just basically saying, I'm jealous that I'm not there.
Yeah, they're not the game.
Yeah,
if
they're not
if they
there.
Had
they're
a
not
field
in college.
in front of them.
Right.
They would storm the field too.
Oh,
and
it's like you can't storm. You were favorites. Fuck off.
It's a natural selection thing where if it's an instance where you probably shouldn't storm the field, then you're going to be one of like 5 people on the field, and you're going to feel like an idiot. But if enough people do it,
UMass stormed the field. No, that was hilarious.
You got to.
Holy shit, that was funny.
After the Comas Bowl.
Yes, that was awesome.
That should be a rivalry. That should be the new civil conflict.
Yeah.
The civil conflict.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge deal. All right, Billy.
My Who's Back of the Week is peanut butter and jelly.
Okay. Full circle.
Good. Nice little ending note to the show. And
what?
Any reason?
Well, they were complaining about it at the rain delay.
Are you guys diagonal guys? Or
no, I wanted
guys?
to know, like, what's your percentage of peanut butter to jelly? It was reported it was 70-30 at halftime. It was too much peanut butter for the players.
That feels like an Andy Reid call.
65-35.
Probably 75-25 or
you
70-30.
need obviously more peanut butter than jelly.
I'm a big peanut butter guy. I like to go peanut butter on both sides of the bread. Put the jelly in the middle so then the jelly doesn't soak into the bread.
Okay. I'm also more of a peanut butter banana guy.
What about peanut butter honey is pretty good too.
Yeah. Peanut butter, and also shout out peanut butter fluff.
I can deal with any of it as long as it covers up the edges. Don't give me a dry crust.
Yeah.
If it's dry, no thank you.
All right, Billy, good job. We need to get people to call Billy right before we record just to like tell him something so that he can.
him
What's the
What, the
latest
who's
you
back?
can give Billy something in his
Well, we talked
brain
about
for him to
everything.
use?
I think during the show. Text him.
Well,
during the
okay.
show.
Who's back week? Mysterious explosions. Southern New Hampshire, there was mysterious explosions, and no one can explain it.
Somebody plugged in my mixtape.
No one knows what it is.
Hank, did you just bonk me?
Yeah.
For what?
You're like, if it's dry, I want nothing to do with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you don't make that
Oh,
sound, I don't want it.
damn it, dude.
Jesus.
36. All right, Jake,
Oh, no,
go ahead. What?
no, I didn't know.
No, what?
It's for later.
Okay.
For after the
But,
show.
yeah, like the. Yeah,
not-
we're okay, got it for the recap.
My who's back of the week is John Clayton. Big Cat
Yes.
brought this to
Yes.
our attention. Of course, longtime ESPN reporter. He basically threatened DirecTV with his followers. So he
did.
tweeted, DirecTV said to get a tech to the house would cost us money, even though I pay for free home service. They won't offer a discount. They basically said, too bad, too sad, may file with FCC and Better Business Bureau. Need high-level AT&T exec to help. I do have lots of followers. Lots, all.
Ooh.
So one of the all-time SportsCenter commercials with the fake rip-off
Yeah,
suit.
Yes.
did Sean
and his
Salisbury
mom.
jump in his mentions and help him out
No.
or call him a nerd at
Oh, yeah,
least?
Billy and I, right?
Yeah.
That's our
You guys,
comparison.
yeah.
Very rarely
Although
do
Clayton never went 9-2 at Dave and Buster's.
That's
as far
true.
as I know.
That-
true.
He definitely would not have against Sean Salisbury.
You gotta share the love sometimes.
Oh, really? So now it's
Yeah.
you sharing the love. Got it.
And we did, and that number doesn't include Dance Dance Revolution or trivia.
How, oh, wow. Shout out Twitter, by the way, for protecting us, because on that tweet, if you looked, I don't know if you have to be updated on Twitter, but it said underneath, heads up, conversations like this can be intense.
Yeah. So I hate that warning, and here's why. Because I feel like I'm going to think I'm a big-time cuck if anything that I tweet out doesn't have that label on it.
Right.
I'm going to be chasing that label.
Right.
I don't
You're
want to
not-
tweet something
you're not
out.
hot enough.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to tweet something out and have Twitter be like, this is pretty chill.
Yes. Yeah. Like
Everyone
this-
will be happy with this. No, I want that fucking warning. It's like putting
This
out a
has
rap
no
album
juice. Yeah.
that doesn't have the explicit content
Yes,
label on it.
you're absolutely right. You need that. All right, Bill, you want to recap real quick?
Saturn and Pluto just went out of retrograde recently.
So that's why
if
the
you're-
kickers.
That's what if you're wondering about the kickers.
That's exactly right.
Also, Wilder was kind of a baby back bitch after the fight. If you guys didn't see that part, Fury went over to say like, "Hey, great fight and everything."
Congrats on me beating you.
Yeah, I mean, he was very concussed.
Well, he told him to fuck off basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
It
Well,
was kind of like, "I don't respect you at all. Fuck off." That's what he said to Fury.
I'm okay with that right after a fight.
Yeah.
yeah.
They'll say their piece later.
Anyway,
He
also
did. Did you see the best was when the fight started? Fury, like right as they went to touch gloves, he was just like, "You're a bitch," like very audibly. It was great. What do you got, Billy, on your plate? Anything else?
for some reason it just says tippers or chillers.
Tippers or chillers? What
I
was
don't
that
remember
for?
what that refers to.
Tippers or chillers?
chillers.
Tippers. Oh, Hank.
Oh,
tipping his
tippers.
chair.
Yeah, tippers or chillers.
Hank tipping his chair
Yeah,
over.
tipping your chair was chill as fuck. Anyway, yeah.
Great
Sweet.
show,
All right.
guys. This was a lot of fun.
Numbers?
And I'm not even being facetious.
This
That
was a good
actually
time.
A very great show.
18.
I liked the realness of the show.
98.
97. Do these count?
Eight.
I think they should.
I don't write any asterisks.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, Jake, did you get
Antarctica?
scoregami today or no?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Fine.
I got
Not
him
only
started
did the
on it.
Lunder screw us, we had two score
Well, London screwed us
opportunities.
twice because you came up with that name and then.
That's true. And it
It's
actually
it's
it
been
helped
the lower
you.
this entire time.
My creation made you money.
Yes,
you
true.
faded it.
Yes, fact.
So,
Thank you, Jake.
22-22. If we got a tie, it would have been a scoregami. And the Browns, Chargers, they overturned Eckler's 2-point conversion.
Yes.
49-42. I don't know how it wasn't.
How's 49-42?
Yeah, I guess it's just too high scoring, but those
Yeah.
are football numbers.
No,
Yeah.
it makes sense. Sevens. They're both divisible by sevens.
No, I'm saying how's that
You're right.
a scoregami?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have
That's
been.
what I'm
but
saying.
they overturned it, and it was 47-42.
Right.
Which was a scoregami last year with the Lamar Jackson pooping himself game.
Okay.
So the Browns almost were part of two scoregamis.
Yeah.
In back-to-back
And if the
years.
Browns scored 48-47 and 50-47.
Yeah, it was very
So-
funny when the Chargers 2-point conversion got overturned. Jake was like audibly distressed, and it was like nothing to do with gambling. No, it was just scoregami.
Yeah, he was very, very mad. Even when Eckler like took a knee at
Yeah.
the one, Jake was like, no
Oh
scoregami.
no!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lunder and two scoregami heartbreakers
Brutal
today.
day.
All right.
But you did beat Billy in every competition at
Not
Dave
every.
and Buster's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're
Wait,
right.
what was the score of that one?
9-2.
That's a scoregami.
That's a scoregami.
No one's ever done that
Yes.
in the Dave Cathlon.
Yes. Actually, someone's probably done that to Billy before.
Not 9-2.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a
He
that's a
loses
blowout.
all the time. Did you get hurt jumping out of the Uber?
I don't even know where the
I heard it
story
was
got
going at least
concocted.
15
I
miles an
literally
hour.
I literally go. I feel like this is like because Jake went home right after Dave and Buster's. So why is me leaving? Like,
Well, because you were on your way back to the office, and then you decided not
you
to
Well, I
come
just
thought
in.
we
jumped out. You just fucking
when
parachuted
did we go to the
out.
office?
Jake
on
went home
Fridays
to
anymore?
bathe in a bathtub
Yeah.
of women and cocaine
Yes,
to celebrate
and
his victory.
victories.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know this was like a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't leave anywhere.
You were like,
inappropriate.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
No,
All right,
that's not even
numbers.
true.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, this is my
Arctic-
stop right here.
Hey.
Billy, it's right next to the river. No, this is my stop.
Arctic means
97.
bears. Antarctic means no bears.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
It's from the Greek. Arcus.
94.
It's actually pretty cool. We just named the place Bears and No Bears.
All right. Arctic is back.
94. Scoregami? Not a scoregami.
Love you guys.